Hey! Are we alive? Oh, yeah. What is even going on? Well, we'll just start that bad boy right over again. Should we just start over again? Oh my gosh, I can hear myself in my phone. How's everybody doing out there? Sorry we're late. Just a little bit late tonight, but we are alive. Can you hear me in my phone? I'm going to have to fix that. But first, I would like to say hello to the Rock Betty is here. Soul Adventurist is here. So too is Harold. We've got a blind squirrel rocks running around in the house. We have a prairie girl rocks as well. Don't go too fast, Karen, or you just might roll over everything. And that's what we're going to be talking about today is we are rolling rocks so that the moss does not gather. We've been tumbling, everybody. It's been a good time. I would like to also thank Manitoba Mike's Rocks for 5 memberships. Oh my goodness, look at that. Thank you so much for inviting some folks into the Ozone Rock Tribe. We're going to ring the bell. Uh-oh, where's the bell? I cleaned the studio a little bit and I'm a little trode off. I don't know where anything is. I hope I know where did I put my Stein curtain. We're gonna have to get around to that too. But thank you so much, Manitoba Mike's Rocks, for the 5 new members and welcome on in. Greg Dirksen is here, and I'm gonna go ahead and say I hope so about the Sunstones, and we'll get to some Sunstones here in a little bit. We've got Candy Cane content. Thank you so much for coming. Spots here. Lonnie is here too. Right from the get-go. We have Kid Curry. Hey. I can take that down, I guess. I need to go in and fix the settings again. Oh boy. Romania Rockhound is here. So good to see you. And the dog in that photo needs a ring. Do we need to ring the bell for that Pavlovian little dog in the Sunstone photo? That's Ochiko, everybody. He's like an awesome dog. Oh yeah, see, here it is. Bling up that collar. Ochi needs some Schiller. That's true. That's true, you guys. I've seen some really nice collars. I think I need to upgrade those dogs. Did I say hello to Yvonne? Good to see you. And so too to you, Brenda Bloom. Thank you for joining. And we've got the resort dog hanging out with us, as well as that opal guy hanging out with his opals. We've got a bunch of new videos that happen throughout the week, folks. I am behind on watching yours because I have been down for the count. It hasn't been a good week here in the Ozone studios, but it's about to get a lot better. And I hope that your weekend and your Friday night is getting better as we go along minute by minute here as well. And so to that, let's Steinkern, as I'm saying hello to the Wisconsin rock stalker, Jerry. And again, lives and videos to watch from all these people. Do you see those sunstones back there? How can that make you not smile? Cheers to you and yours and your weekend. Mm-hmm. What's in your Steinkern? All right. Let's scroll on down and make sure. Did I say hello to Soul? I'm going to double down if I didn't. I want to make sure that I've said hello to everybody. And it looks like Caleb is here. Good to see you. I should kick you in the trousers to make sure that you've got your tumbler going. And I would love to hear about how many of y'all do some tumbling out there. I'm new. It's taken me a really long time to get around to actually stepping up to the plate and doing the tumble thing. Betty, you are dancing the flamenco. Oh my goodness, I'm so way behind. Phil is here. And Allison with 1L is here. Good to see you. And it looks like Fred is maybe live at the same time. I hope that everybody is doing well. And hopefully, we're not pulling away from anybody else's uh, live also. I always feel bad about that if that happens. And Sage Rat is in the house. And check this out. More new memberships. Woo! Let's ring the bell. So exciting. Welcome in for 5 more new members into the Ozone tribe where we got it going on tonight. It's exciting. You can tell. I've had just like such a ground level, maybe even subterranean week. And so it's so good to see you guys here and to be hanging out with you. It's always like the prize at the end of the week, like the carrot that's sitting there. Earth to Elegance, welcome in. We'll get all your hellos taken care of, and then we'll go on and get to the fun and the nitty gritty of this evening. We've got Tomcat Josh in the house. Good to see you, and Ryan. Good to see you too. And I like what you did with the generated pics with your poser question at the beginning. Yeah, right. So Ryan made those AI pictures for us, and thank you, Ryan, for that. Always appreciate those super fun little cartoons that you make out of us. We have the Malandia here as well. Good old Ma is in the house, and so too is Scott. I hope that you're enjoying this super beautiful day and sort of low tide too. I think we get one more shot at some really nice low tides. And we've got Patricia in the house as well as Jeff. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. And we got Tomcat Josh. Woo! Continuing the bellin'. Let's do it. Some spicy bell ringing going on. I hope my mom is here, and I hope you're doing really good. I've been just so subterranean. I haven't even talked to my mom enough this week. So y'all can slap me on the wrist on that one. It's been one. It's been one. I know a few of you other people out there have had one too. And so we're all going to get some rock therapy into tonight. It's a happening. All right, we're going to do some serious gem gazing together, not only through the second camera that is talking in my ear right here. Hopefully you guys can't hear it, but also we're going to pull out the microscope, which is also just right here, already loaded. And we're gonna look at some of the stuff that we just tumbled because that is the purpose. And I will again catch us all up with those deets here in just a moment as we scroll on down and make sure that we have not forgotten to say hello to the Ricker Ferocious Rockosaurus, Rick. And it's good to see you. Thank you. Steinkerns all around from Rick. And I love this one. Gotta go in and gotta check these things before you slide on in. We had some technical difficulties, obviously. It was like my microphone and earphones just all were unplugged and not ready, and I had mistaken them for being in check already. So it took a moment and 5. Meg Mac is here. Good to see you. How you doing tonight, doll? I hope that it is good. And Billy Whitehorn is here as well. And he's saying, I tumble. Patricia's been tumbling for about a year now. Cool. I've caught up to our question. Doug, Mongo Doug is sometimes I tumble, and it's probably because the stuff is too big to get into your tumbler, is my guess. Rock Hounding Huntress is here. Good to see you. And Rock Betty is saying I procrastinate my tumbles, which is funny because on one side you've got procrastination and on the other side you have this discipline of patience. And so if you can crossfade those, then you don't even have to notice how long you're waiting. Just procrastinate while the tumbler load is in. I'm finding this out really quick because this is I'm new. I'm so noob that I should be colored green this evening. And so you guys all get to chime in on your wisdom, and it should be really interesting and fun to hear what you all think of. Thumbing is a great thing. Oh, thank you. At first I thought it was going to be tumbling. And you can tumble that thumb button real quick, polish it. And that would make me and everybody so happy. And perhaps if you want to share this out with somebody who might be looking into getting into tumbling or just loves rocks or doesn't have some tribe to hang out with on this Friday night, well, you can go ahead and extend an invitation. That would be great. Shake it like a salt shaker. Uh-huh, uh-huh. What are we thumbing? A ride, perhaps, thumbing through the dictionary to find that one word. There's a lot of thumbing that can go on. That is a good, wholesome use of your time. Tara's here. But Tara's been here since the very, very beginning. I don't know if I said hello when I went back up to the top, but I know that you were here right punctually. And same with Chubby Hubby. So thank you guys for landing early. It always is so heartening to see people who are putting in their comments early, because I'm usually bustling around, getting ready. And so when I see like, okay, there's life out there, you feel like you're on your own little planet or in like a spacecraft all alone out in space. Major Tom calling the planet and trying to figure out if reality is real and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if your Fridays are like that, but mine are. Reptile Z is here. Good to see you. And y'all are just exchanging all of the niceties and whatnot, going back and forth. And it looks like I probably have, in fact, accomplished a ketchup and mustard and a blind squirrel. I tumbled and I didn't want to get up. Oh dear. Yeah, I commiserate with that. I've done some pretty spectacular tumbling, and yet this is the first time that I've done one with a vibe. And so we'll, as I said, get in on that after we check out our our news. And you're liking my hoodie, are ya? I don't know if Yvonne knows about Aussies here in town. We got the like favorite surf shop, and of course, your Sasquatch. You know that they surf too, predominantly a longboarder, I think. And oh, there's Mom! Yay! Hi, Mom! Cheers to you. I'll get this fantastic tsunami mug up here. Cheers. I hope everybody is feeling better this Friday Eve, this eve of the weekend. I hope it's the cusp of wonderful things for you and great rock discoveries like we're about to check out. I also have my rock store shirt on. If you know, you know. All right. Oh, this is cool. I'm so excited. This is going to be such a good discussion. I am wondering about borax in the final stage of the tumbling polish. Also, has anyone tried to do a final polish in an ultrasonic cleaner with an abrasive material? And you guys are just already getting going. I love it. Wait, I don't want to miss the bus here. Um, Prairie Girl Rock says that my tumbling is also on hold. I was using my kid's room, but he's home right now. Ah, yeah, I'm finding out that the sound is a thing. And some of them are pretty darn loud. And Lava Bison, it looks like Lava Bison is here too. Steinkerns to you. And oh my goodness. Yeah, get your pilot lights going before you settle in. And yes, everyone, make sure that you've got all of your snacks and all the goods. We're gonna switch on into our news feature anyway. So if you need a moment to get up and get some more cheese or a drink or light your pilot light, this would be when. And we got a rotary and a vibratory tumbler. Do it out underneath the gazebo out back. Boy, that's a good one. If you've got like the kind of weather or a kind of situation where you can remove that element of noise out to someplace else, it's handy. Because dang, I was pretty amazed at the decibels that were coming out of that thing in the very beginning. And yeah. Resort dog. No boom boom, out go the lights if possible. Let's like try to avoid that. No smoking, right? We don't need smoked Tara this evening. That would not be good. All right. And so since we are all here, it looks like, and I'm sure we'll have some joiners. Thank you guys all so much for joining so far this evening. It looks like a good number, which means that we are off to the races. So let's do this. It's the Ozone news. In news tonight, we have prices of silver. Let's get this out of the way already so that we don't have anything more of dread and sorrow left for the evening and only the good times. So it's teeny tiny, but over there on the Rio website, we've got $89.08 for silver. So we're still looking for cool alternatives of things to do when we're making jewelry, for sure. Gold is up there at 5,222, it looked like, in 30 cents. And the platinum is at 200, and it looks like 366 or 2,366 is what it's looking like. It's itty bitty teeny tiny weeny for me, actually. And that's why I'm trying to look through the bottom of my glasses. Palladium is 1,793. And I'm telling you, that is some cray prices. It went down in the 70s there for a bit, and then it started ascending again. And so anybody's guess as to where it is going next. Will it come back down so that we can buy some more silver, or is it going up for a while where we dare not tread and we do things like this guy here? I finished this piece this afternoon, and this piece is actually backed with copper. And it is fronted with, there's copper there, but it's been oxidized with the liver of sulfur. So you've got a dark patina. And then all of the jewels that you see are all set in fine silver. So it's kind of this dichotomy of a blend of the silver and the copper. And I embellish the copper on the back so that it doesn't feel like that's the consolation prize. or that we're getting away with anything. This particular piece is an Oregon pink opal that we got from the Outlaw Rocks people when we went out and mined with them, and Cabden House, of course. And then we've got some Gemfield with a druzy belly button. Could not resist that combo, and it's pulled together with 2 white topaz and an amethyst there, playing with the laws of asymmetry and digging it hardcore. So if the silver prices or gold prices are getting you down, time to get creative, I would say. And for all of those people out there being super creative, we finally figured out how to give away some memberships. And so before we got started this evening, 5 new members to the Ozone squad came from the Ozone itself. And so we finally cracked it, and those will be administered throughout the month now. I think I get 10 or 20 or something like that to give away. So I wanted to give a hearty welcome, and it's a re-welcome for many of you guys. Rock Hounding Adventures, Jed, we've got Alaska Gold Hunter, Akira, and Soul Adventurous. And I can't think of 4 nicer people to get some memberships to. So thank you very much, YouTube, and thanks for your help. I know Chris helped me and some others trying to find out how in the world to get those things gifted out. We also have tonight's noticeable theme. We've got the sun, we've got the sunstone, we've got the glimmering thing. And this is that glimmering thing underneath the microscope at about 20 times. And this is what we were trying to figure out too. This is the explanation ahead of time for what we're going to be traveling through the journey this evening together. So here is a sunstone, and you can see right through the middle of it. But wait, there's something in there. That's Schiller. It's not the pink kind. It's white or silver Schiller. What? Did somebody not tell you about white or silver Schiller? It's another inclusion that happens in the Oregon Sunstone. I'm pretty sure it's also a vestige of the fact that we have the copper platelets, although perhaps they oxidize a different way. So we get this interesting effect. This one was super cool, so I had to take a picture for you guys. It's got the Schiller going in different directions. And it almost looks like we've got sinews going through the rocks, crisscrossing. This is information that we needed before we start cutting, say, for a faceted gemstone. You can also see these teeny weeny inclusions of fractures that are bouncing light back at us right now. They look like little bits, little shiny bits. Well, if you're faceting a stone and you find one of those in the middle of your table, you're crying. So this is part of the exploration that is our objective this evening while we're going through the tumbles that are right behind me. And we're going to go back over our opening video because we actually got to see the stages ahead of time during that. And so actually we'll bring that bad boy up one more time. There it is. And we've got Ryan's beautiful illustrations from AI. Will we dig it or not? So what we've got here is our rough sunstone material. And it's gritty, and it's a rolling through our tumbler. This is stage 1 for us, which was 220, although that's usually not the first stage for a lot of you guys, which you would already know. I can take these bad boys off. And blue sunstones, my goodness. I'm sorry. I just caught a comment there. I would love to hear more about blue sunstones. A lot of people start their rough in their tumblers at 90, I believe. And so, yeah, okay, I see. Teal or blue even. That is the truth. I have heard of the teal. And I've heard of a purple one even. So it just depends on what I think. And I think that actually, if you go back and you watch a video by Patrick, Donahue Labs, he did a special documentary on the Sunstones that is probably the best I've seen on YouTube altogether. And yet we know the superstar that made it. And the scientists were still kind of unsure exactly what causes the different colors, which is actually so cool. So thank you for that, Resort Dog. We've got lots of different colors, definitely. And here's another bit of information from Resort Dog. Double, oh my goodness, Double Eagle has more colored ones, Spectrum more reds. You know, what's interesting is also Spectrum has a green pit, and I've got belt runs from them where the predominant number of my colors were actually green. So not to argue at all, but I think that it just maybe depends on where they're pulling the bucket loads for sure. And clam ears. Hey, Ed, welcome in. And clam ears for tumbling media. I would love to hear more about this. I did not know that clams could hear. And if so, what do they listen to? You know, are they sort of heavy metal or they like strumbly folk? So we've got Prairie Girl over here, Allison. I have some green sunstone, but not blue. Yeah. And so I think the blue and the purple are the most rare, and then you get into the greens being, something that it's doable, and then the reds are more common. You've got some multicolor and polychrome, or, then you've got the Schillers, which are just the platelets that shine the light without the extra color, body color added to the stone. And so I should have had all these examples ready for you guys. And thank you so much, Ma, for tossing that Patrick link. The Donahue Labs link is up in the chat. So if you're interested, definitely go check out his documentaries. And Soul mentioned that up there too, that the documentaries are awesome. Great time spent, and you'll definitely learn something. The uh, ruby one might be my favorite one. You'd think the sunstone would be. So we're over here. Sunstone is a feldspar, yeah? A? A, Greg? It is a softer rock when compared to quartz, for instance, but harder than calcite, I believe. Well, the sunstones that Dawn over at the Dust Devil has graded, he claims that they are between a 6.5 and a 7.3, I believe, on the Mohs hardness scale. So they're not bad. They're harder, but they're still not as hard as, say, your rubies and topaz and sapphires and things like that. So here, awesome, 6 to 7.2. Nice. So we were in the right ballpark there. And they'll never talk to you. So dang shellfish. I love it. You guys are hilarious. And I have to also caveat that we're talking about the sunstones from Oregon. There are sunstones from other places and other countries. So we're just talking about the Oregon Sunstones, which are colored by the inclusion of copper. And they are the onlyest that we know at this time on the planet that contain the copper inclusion, which does make them special. And Candy Cane is over here saying Sunstones are fun to cut with a flex shaft. Yes, they are. Enthusiastic, yes. My first shots at the Sunstone were carving with the flex shaft. And I cabbed some up on my flat lap that I had at that time. And I prefer doing the work on the flex shaft. Actually, they are so much fun. They're very willing to be carved, and they come up to such an insanely nice polish, and we're gonna see that. So I will just keep going. Sorry for the pause, everybody, but yeah, this is our 220 grit for stage one, and you can see that these have lots of angles to them. And there they are, buzzing along in my Raytech 5, which is a tumbler that I bought just to see if it was going to work out for this purpose. I was told for light duty, like sunstones that are small, and these are small stones by anybody's account for sure. Having one bigger than a quarter is actually unusual. Sunstones tend to be smaller stones because they fracture in the basalt during their cooling phase here in Oregon. So they are like pulling broken glass out of basalt. What a fun time that is. So here we have them out of the very first stage, and you can see that it's rounded off those broken glass edges, and they've got a frost to them. And that was exciting to see. You guys probably know that the Vibe tumblers have the tendency to take away less material and do less shaping, and that was definitely one of the things that I wanted when we were getting into doing the vibratory tumbles. But we're going to get into a vibratory versus rotary tumble conversation here, hopefully in a little bit. I just wanted to go through this overview kind of quick. And so this is having a look at why not to let stuff go dry in your first stage. Karen learned very quickly that during tumbling, I read that it was okay to run the vibratory tumbler dry. Well, if you started off with wet media and you let it dry, then guess what? It turns into cement. And so we had an absolute undandy time with getting the nasty cement out of all of these little nooks and crannies. It was not cool. I'm catching up with the chat really quick here so that I'm not missing too much. And it looks like I did. Do not let the grit get dry. Yeah, that is a serious beginner mistake that I made right up front. I thought, okay, well, if it's, gnarly good abrasion with it being wet, well, surely that's going to be great dry too. And so I let this go for 5 days, and that was basically what I read up on the good suggestion. And I would say that on day 3 it ran dry. I added more water and hoped that that stuff would come out, and it didn't. So, yeah. That concrete is tough is an understatement of all time. Mr. Chubby Hubby, I am a rockaholic. I would sell my toenails for rocks. It looks like we're having confessional Friday, everybody. If you feel like you need to, go ahead. It was toothbrush time, everybody. And I will tell you that I won't let that happen again. And it wasn't just toothbrush. The toothbrush wasn't enough. So I'm gonna cover what I did when we move on. But I'm telling you, like right now, if you are a metalsmith and you have a solder pick, just buy more if you're gonna be letting your tumbler dry out, because the solder picks make unusually good uncement 220 grit removers. Goodness gracious. Instead of tangents, let's just go with the confessions tonight, okay? That should make it interesting. Truth or dare? I dare you to have a truth or dare. Um, let's see. And the slurry won't last right for 3 hours here. Yeah, if you're in a dry place, it looks like you're probably going to want to spritz your slurry. And I doubt that the ultrasound would get the grit out. I did not apply ultrasound. I don't have one. And so what I did do, I will discuss as we move along here. But somebody asked the question already, and so it's kind of interesting that you did. And so just a nice look at that. And what that is right there is soap and borax. And so right away after that, I gave him a nice soak and then a nice tumble in the borax soap combination. So I basically burnished early. And I will tell you that it took care of about half of what was there. And so I only actually had to clean about half of the stones by hand. And I did. I sat and I did it. And it was a nightmare. It was bad. With that, Raytech, you can replace the rubber nuts, either a rubber washer, fender washer, and a wing nut. It's a lot quieter. Oh, that's really good to know. Thank you, Phil. And Prairie Girl Rock says, I even use a pump or two of liquid hand soap to keep everything slippery in the tumbler. I don't know if it helps or not really, but I tell myself it helps with the cleanup. Yeah, the cleanup is really something. I am amazed at how much we have to fuss with the tumbler. I thought it was going to be a like turn it on and forget about it kind of thing. But I did get the vibratory tumbler so that I would have a little bit quicker gratification. And I ended up doing quite a bit of hand holding, which was interesting. And I'm sure that there will be a learning curve here. Confessions of the collabs. Yeah. We got a rock confessional going on tonight. What we got like you got to do 5-gallon pail marys. Oh. Greg is saying, and oof, yeah, grit hardened up, may as well start over again from stage one. It was stage one. And so I just didn't, I had nowhere to go, but it was okay. I did it. I did it, and we made it. We made it all the way to here to tonight. And maybe that's why I was feeling so bad all week. Confession, I let my tumblers go for way too long, sometimes like weeks or even months too long. Whoops, I knew we'd have some confessionals. I love it. It's okay, Tara. Everybody give her a hug and a pat on the back, and you guys can tell her how many times you've done the same thing. All right. Wow. I wonder what is or isn't legal in public. Some barrels are better sealed than others, and you can leave them longer between checks. Yeah, this is interesting, really, to me, because I understand that sometimes if you forget, you get much brighter, shinier rocks. Just let that thing run for a while. So, I love that sound. There's your second stage at 500, and there's some more grit in the cracks. Grit in the cracks have got to be the absolute nightmare of every tumbler. And so I understand that perhaps if I went with the harsh first stage at 90, I might not have cracks, but I would lose too much stone. And I'm going to talk about the reason why I'm tumbling them in the first place. But I did clean these out, the ones that had some stuff in their belly buttons, with, again, the solder pick on the really bad ones. But I noticed again that if I did a borax burnish in between with soap, that it cleaned this time probably more like 75 to 80% of the stones. And I had to pick way, 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 way less. So let me just go ahead and punch to the chase right now. I did a borax a couple of hours in between every step, and it worked quite nicely. And I know that that's probably unconventional, but I was just flying by the seat of my pants, the pants that didn't want to sit and have to pick grit out of every single rock. Kiss my grits, rocks is what I would have to say with that. And the ultrasonic may get the gunk out of the sunstones, but I wouldn't trust sunstones in a sonic cleaner with those cleavage planes, but could be wrong. I know it wreaks havoc on labradorite. So I would have to agree with this. The all of the gem pages will tell you not to put the sunstones into an ultrasonic once set into jewelry. And I would say that not set into the jewelry would also carry that same rule. Thank you, Ma. Thank you so much for mentioning that so that somebody else does not make a mistake like that. Bet you had great language after that trick. Absolutely. There was that blue cloud of cussing that kind of hung over that house for quite some time. And yeah, the dawn was definitely my friend for this adventure. So that's them looking pretty good though, and that's after the 500. And I still had uh, a little bit of the basalt that was freeing itself too, which was really interesting. So I had to hand pick some of that out of there. And but still burnish it with ivory shaving for tradition. I would love to do that. Oh, here's a good tip. Yvonne is saying I use a dental pick for stuck grit. It works most of the time. And a dental pick is ideal. I mean, it's literally what they do to your teeth. They're just getting, stop eating the tumble grit, people, so that your hygienist doesn't have to pick that out of your teeth. But yeah, the if it wasn't for the solder pick, which are titanium, I mean, they're just magnificent for the job, then I would have been using dental tool. So everybody out there, that is like what to do. Hopefully you've got a dentist in town, or you've got somebody who can toss you some dental tools. It's really what to use for sure. Thank you for that. And oh, here's another great tip for beginners. It's a bit demanding, and don't dump the grit down the drain. You don't want that cement in your drain. This is so important. I did not do that. That I had heard before, but it needs to be said from the rooftops as many times as anybody needs to hear it, because it is nasty, nasty stuff. And so I took care of that responsibly, and it definitely did not go down the drain. Oh, yeah. And everybody is chiming in on how definitely not to do that. And Dad's Rocks Phil is saying, gotta check the raid tech 1 to 2 times a day. And I would say that's about right. I did babysit that thing after I figured it out. And it was kind of fun because I was checking the stones as we went on. And I've actually got a progression next to me to my left that we're going to look at. And we can talk a little bit more about like that exact progression, but you get to see them all next to each other, which is kind of fun. And Soap Kink of scares me. Soap kind of scares you. But Soap Kink I didn't know was a thing. And we're talking about burping them. I think that there's probably a lot of different variations of things or differences between the two styles, the rotary and the vibratory. And there will be a moment in which I ask you guys which you prefer, those of you who have done both. After the 1,000, I definitely was having a bit of shine. You can see these are dry here, and it's not bad. Like, I thought I had messed up by not going long enough on the 500. It turns out that it's true. I didn't. But we still got a pretty good shiny shine. So here's our aluminum oxide polish stage, and it just looks like a bunch of milk in there. It is interesting. Don't grit your teeth when you tumble, grit your tumbler. Yes, absolutely. And Wisconsin rock stalker, it's a day at the beach, grit in the cracks. Yes. Man, you don't even have to sit at the beach here. We just have a windy enough days that you get gritty anyway. And hello to you, native wildman. Thank you for coming by. And I'm scrolling down to make sure that we're not missing anything, but I am definitely trying to catch up to make sure that we're all here. We've got a stainless steel dental pick. Yeah, you do definitely don't want to go backwards and be scratching up your polished stuff too. So make sure that there's something that you use that will be kind to your stone at whichever grit you're on. Harbor Freight likely has picks, and you know what? I think I saw a set there. And so, they are their version of the dental pick. So you don't even have to roll your dental hygienist for those. And it looks like we've got the Donahue Labs right here in the house. Ears were burning. All the cool kids are hitting that thumbs up. Thank you so much, Patrick. And we were talking about your really great documentary on the Sunstones and how you were talking about how they aren't even quite sure what the reason is for some of the coloring in the Sunstones. And all of the rest of the documentaries are absolutely amazing as well. So we're sending everybody over your way so that they've got some entertainment all weekend long. If you haven't seen any of these documentaries, then you've got some serious goodies ahead of you to watch. So let's see, we've got a question: ceramic, and I think this is supposed to be ceramic or plastic shot in the rotary tumbler. And I hope somebody can answer for them. Greg is saying the vibratory at Harbor Freight is not for rock tumbling. It's meant for cleaning spent brass. Don't ask me how. I know. Yeah, this is an important thing to read up on before dropping your monies on a tumbler. Many of them are made for cleaning if you reuse casings for uh, uh, doing things with like reloading bullets and that sort of thing. And so I did not make that mistake, and I made sure at least the Raytech, even though it's a small one, this Raytech 5 is supposed to carry 4 pounds of media and stone. Boy, that's loud. And so this is it coming out of the polish. And so this is the polish stage, and then we go back to the borax and burnish. So just to be clear, even though it says up there, this is the polish stage. And so that milky is the aluminum oxide milk that was created. And that was a mess. It just absolutely went everywhere. So I'm thinking that wing nut lid thing is probably the way to go, because there's just enough room that the milk first splattered all over the top of the roof, the lid, and then it like drizzled over the sides, and then there was spilt milk all over the tumbler actually. And I needed to do some serious cleaning on the inside and the outside. We did not do any crying over the spilt milk though, of course, because we were so excited. Yes, metal parts as well. Whoops, zoop. So yeah, folks that do jewelry use them for that, and also people that are mechanics that need to clean things. You can like get burrs off of metal that way also. And so we've got this. No need to reload them if you hit what you're aiming for. I see what you did there. Okay, and who Walker is here. Thank you for coming, Walker. I'm trying not to be too absorbed. And it's great that you guys are tossing information and good stuff back and forth. We've got just be careful with borax if you wash dump outside and have a lot of insects like butterflies, bees, etc. that could be attracted to the water. That's a great point because it's off pH and it would probably be poisonous for our little buddies. I actually, with the borax, I reused it because that's a cleaning agent. So it was soap and borax. I was like, I can use this. That is something that can be used again. But thank you, that was a good one. And we've got this. Has anyone tumbled glass, thick glass, bottle stuff, and other bigger beach glass? This is a great question. I have seen people kind of create that tumbled the ocean glass kind of thing in a tumbler. So I would be interested in hearing about that. And so there's our mess. I had a good time making and then having to clean up after for sure. And then here are the finished sunstones getting rinsed in the sun. So those were actually wet and we are already live. So we'll bring Ochiko back down. So I would say that my first experience tumbling was way better than I thought it was going to be. Now, this is the first experience that I've had as an adult tumbler. We actually were exposed back on the ranch. My Oma and Opa had a tumbler. I'm pretty sure it was even at the house and not even over at the machine shop. And my grandfather loaded it with some cool rocks that we had been finding. And we asked every day, is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? And for some reason, that tumbler just disappeared. And we never did see what happened. So I was cured of tumbling at a very, very young age and kind of didn't really have any reason to do it. And so why, Karen? Why do we need to tumble now? What's your deal? And so let's bring this stuff up and we're going to talk about why in the world would I need to tumble at this juncture. Ah, bring the important thing up here. Okay, so I told you I had, this little student assignment. It looks like a 6th grade student assignment here on the board. And these are sunstones from the spectrum over here in Oregon. And let me catch up really quick to make sure that I'm not missing anything super important. But these are the different stages, as you can see. So while I'm reading, you can kind of check that out. And oh, this is a great question. Billy Whitehorn, has anyone tried cerium instead of the aluminum for softer stone? So Billy Whitehorn, I decided that I was going to follow the instructions this first time through and do exactly what was supposed to happen with the kind of kit that I have. And I did, and I'm happy with the results. But I always finish with cerium when I am cabbing or when I am faceting the sunstones. So why in the world would I finish with aluminum when I'm tumbling, when I know how good the cerium works? Like cerium and sunstone are a love affair. So my next batch, now that I've figured out kind of what I did wrong and where I could improve and how long these things should go, my next batch, I will use the cerium to finish. I have spendy cerium, like the super cerium. So I didn't want to just like toss it in if it was going to have to go back several stages after I had seen the whole thing through. I didn't want to have wasted, 3 tablespoons of super cerium in my tumbler. And so that's a quasi answer to your question. And so we've got lava over here. Squirrel, do it. It's fake beach glass, but it's basically what it becomes. Yeah, it looks really good, the stuff that I've seen. That's, just the tumbled instead of beach glass, actually. And we have an answer here. Reptile Z, prefers rotary tumbles. Vibe tumblers seem to be best for deburring. Just my thoughts. Excellent. And so I think that from what I have heard from people that I've asked on a solo basis, because I did hit up some people for suggestions and some guidance and whatnot, that for shaping, you want to go rotary, and for preserving material and keeping the shape of what you have originally, that you would want to do vibe. But I don't have hardly any experience with this. So, an adult tumbler, yes, right. So we've got I have the jar of agates from the beach my mom tumbled when I was really young. That's so cool. I know, like I bet you anywhere there's like a tumbler sitting around someplace that we loaded that never got finished, and it would be so fun to have those rocks at this time. The ranch had all these rocks that had been cleared so that they wouldn't bog up the mess up the equipment on the fields, and so there were some really good rocks. And yet I think that my Oma and Opa just did not have the pace to listen to, us ask every day. I do coarse grit in rotary and then the rest in vibratory tumbler, unless the rocks are bigger, and then probably would do them in rotary all the way. And this is what I hear is that the smaller media like materials do better or well in a vibratory, but I'm just putting my vote in. Like I said, I'm absolutely a beginner. How do you keep the vibe from drying out so quickly? And I hope somebody has a good suggestion other than, maybe putting an alarm on your clock, your watch, your phone, and re-spritzing as you go along, and even potentially stopping it, overnight if you feel like it's going to run dry overnight, which is what happened with me. And I just figured it was okay, and it was so not. So, anyways, you guys are having such a cool back and forth, but I'm gonna make sure that we get on with it and we get a chance to look at this stuff underneath the microscope and everything. So we've got stage one here, and I just wanted to give you guys an example of how kind of gritty. So you see there's a lot of surface texture. Basically, sunstones come out of the ground like if glass broke. And like I said before, it's because it fractures in the ground. Apparently, it cools at a different temperature or speed. It cools at the same temperature, but it its cooling process fought with the basalt that it was in, and so those two things having different properties as they were cooling caused the sunstones to fracture. So they look like broken glass in this ground. Now this would be considered like a bigger sunstone, and there's meat enough on that it would probably be okay to facet. And this one too, kind of like a nice chunker that will end up getting tumbled at some point now. So I'm looking for faceting rough out of my sunstones, and because of that, I need them windowed. And it's okay if I lose some weight off of them, on account that I would be taking that weight off to do a preform anyway. And I want to find out if they're going to break, shatter, and I want to see inside them to see if there's any inclusions. And so that's my ultimate goal. I'm not just looking for a candy dish full of pretty things, which is also a nice side effect, but these guys are all about being usable. So over here, we've got the 500 grit. And by the way, I left stage one in for 5 days. It's being covered by my little thing there. And so 5 days for stage one. I maybe could have gone longer if I wanted the cracks to be smoothed out so that they wouldn't collect more stuff. I don't know. I'm too much of a beginner to know. And so, gosh, I hope I'm not missing out on a whole bunch of stuff, but like I said, I wanted to keep this stuff going so that we could get through everything. And so, at any rate, scream at me in all caps if you need me. Otherwise, I'll just consider what's going back and forth good banter that you guys are helping each other out with. And so, at any rate, you can see on stage 2, I left this in for 3 days. I could have probably gone 5 days on stage 2 and been a happier camper. But I was following kind of the recipe that had been set forth um, by actually a couple different sources. And so I figured that was going to be fine. You can see that this takes on a frosting, and it's actually quite nice. Um, this is it not being rough. It's been kind of frosted up, and so we have the stage 3, which is starting to look shiny. Now I knew I was in trouble when I saw in the different little gullies. It's hard to see here. Each thing that you polish, I'm sure, has either misleading or some telltales that you know you're doing the right thing. We get to learn that as we go through the learning each kind of mineral when you tumble it. And so, somebody who's really, really good at agates might not be really super great at obsidian or that sort of thing. And so I don't know, maybe this guy would be better. And I should have my rubber ones. Oh gosh. Okay. I'm gonna grab my rubber ones, the rubber tipped uh, ones. But I wanted just to show you. You can kind of see it's shiny on the high points and then frosty in the gullies. So this is my indication that I didn't go far enough, in my opinion. And so I'm going to play with that. But one thing about feldspars is that you're going to have planes that look dull in comparison to planes that look really good. And that is normal, just like labradorite does that, and the other feldspars do that. So that's one thing to watch out for is when you're assessing, make sure you're not going like, well, that's awfully dull, and it's one of the planes that's just not gonna polish the same as the other planes. And so that's just something very, very specific for the sunstones. And what I did, like I said, is I did a borax and soap, um, a few hours in between each stage. And so 2 days in stage 2. And then we had stage 4, and that was the aluminum oxide for 2 days. And we get what you see here. And so there's fingerprints, but pretty darn glassy. But I am telling you, when we put this underneath the microscope, we're going to see the pits. And so I feel like we left behind some of the grit from the first stage by not leaving it long enough in the second stage. And I don't think leaving it in the third stage any longer was going to make that work any better. And so just I know there are plenty of people out there that swear by leaving the stage 2 in for a long time, and then the other stages can be normal, but let that be doing your dirtiest work for sure. Okay, so that's what's going on there. For my purposes, I'm good. We got clear stones, and so I'm a happy girl. What I wanted them for was so that I can plan for faceted gems. And then the ones that I don't use for faceted gems, do I want to cab them? Do I want to share them with some of you guys? Do I want to make chips? I've made hair sticks in the past, and I love using Sunstone chips at the top of the hair sticks, and so there's a lot of uses. If you can't use it for one thing, you can probably use it for another, and I think that Ryan and I were having a discussion earlier about, well, what do you do with the stones? Like, if you are super into tumbling, after you're done tumbling them, what do they become? Are they in a candy dish? Or is there an application that you have for them? And so I was not compelled to do the tumbling until I had a solid string of applications. Like, this is my window into these sunstones, so that I can see if I want to facet them. And then I also have these other things that I can do too. And so we've got Greg over here. Montana agate takes a lot longer to shape than most things. I've tumbled, had it go 3 rounds at 7 days before I was satisfied. That is amazing. And yet we know that the Montana agates are, Mohs hardness 11. And so it's not surprising. And then what I love about what you just said, Greg, is that you get an eye. Sorry. Catch my breath. You get an eye for what it is that it has to look like. And that's one of the worst things about being a beginner, is that you don't know what it's supposed to look like before you go on to the next step. And so even through the loop, I'm like checking everything out. I'm trying to be super scientific, and I didn't know what I was looking at. So I think that as we get on to more tumbler loads, we probably get better at that sort of thing. All right, and it looks like Fred has joined us. Thank you for coming. I've been battling like a bit of a sore throat, and it's odd. And so let's all Steinkern together, and we'll go on to the microscope. And also, I think that we should do a giveaway. We're gonna go through some of the stones, because we've got that colander that actually I got from Kyle, World of Rock Hounds. He set me up with a rotary tumbler, and I finally got it working, because it had a bum motor, and he was like, I just need to move move this. And I was like, I'll catch it. And so he was so sweet to let me have it. And it came with, like, he just had it like this milk crate full of, like, okay, and there's a colander and some extra things, some extra lids, I think. And so I'm all set up to do the rotary tumbling too. And I got the motor working. I actually didn't. My buddy Lisa did. And so I'll be doing a comparo, probably not with sunstones, because I feel like I've got the sweet spot with those, but I'll be doing a comparo between rotary and the vibratory, and probably getting another bigger, faster, stronger vibratory tumbler. Now that I dipped my toe in, I'm pretty stoked on it. So I think I'm hook, line, and sinker, guppied into doing more of this. And Reptile Z is saying tumbling is a learning curve all its own. Yes, there's quite the gymnastics going on there. Trimming off the rough, badly pitted spots too on the saw can help things along for stage 1. That's an awesome suggestion for folks out there. And I know a lot of people do some preforming, like you might cut things into a cab form that you would like, and then hopefully that rotary is going to be doing the rest of the shaping. And I know that those guys of you that I see over there on Kyle's lot, and we're seeing some of the different offerings of cabs and carvings, how we are getting our eyes trained to, oh, that was tumbled. We can tell that cab was tumbled, as opposed to being hand done, or some of the carvings he was saying were probably vibratory tumbled. And that's definitely a great way to get a carving fully polished when you've got lots of nooks and crannies. I've got this agate octopus that I carved a few years ago, and it's just a little guy. It's about this big, and it occurred to me, oh my gosh, I can throw this into the tumbler. And finally, all the tiny little nooks and crannies that I was having trouble getting, a toothpick with some diamond paste on it into to try to get everything all cleaned up and uniformly shiny. I was like, oh my gosh, this Vibe tumbler can do the job for me. So there's a certain amount of liberation that we get with that. Okay, so here's our microscope view of a golden, gorgeous sunstone sitting there waiting for us to do some gem gazing. And this is how I would sort out my stones, except for the fact that I would probably be using a loop instead of looking through the microscope. My microscope that I have loaded right now is a up to 40 X. And so I can get 20X on a loop. And I even have a loop that has 30X. And so I would probably just be looping them. But for the sake of all of us to be able to look at it all at the same time, it makes sense to load some of them onto the microscope so that you can see what I would be seeing if I was grading these stones. We're starting off with this one, and already we can see right in the middle, we've got a problem, Houston. There are a couple of fractures there that would have been really hard to see if the stone was still rough. You saw how gritty and ugly the ones that were rough looked. And if not, let's go ahead and look at that one more time really quick, just so that you guys have the comparison to see how challenging this can be. So here's this one, like I told you, that it's chunky enough that we've got some serious facetability here. Okay, you guys, where are the fractures? Where are the fractures in this one? Go ahead. Let me know. We need a crystal ball. And even with backlighting, so we've got our torch here and we can backlight it, and we're still, because of all that crust, it's hard to see. It's also hard to see if you don't have it in focus. So that, you can see how I would be heavily motivated to find a better way. You can use wintergreen oil to look into your stones, and I have done that, and that is a way to do it. But if you've got a lot of stones, then that's a really tough way to do it, because you're doing one or a couple stones at a time. Whereas if you can tumble them, you're doing like 100 at a time. And so it would be so much easier to just look at these stones and know right away, like, nope, nope, yep, nope, nope. Instead of, wintergreen oil, the stuff smells crazy. And so if you get that stuff around, you're going to be smelling like wintergreen, like for days, like just leaving it open, like can burn your eyes. So at any rate, um, Rock Betty is saying Vibrolap does a better job than I could have ever hoped for at this stage in my journey. Yeah, like the laps are a whole nother, ball of wax that we can get into as far as Vibrolap or flat lap, or if you've got, an angle grinder to get faces polished for sure. So Betty is saying, I love borax for my tumbler and my laundry, and I'll try it in the Vibrolab. Yeah, the borax was absolutely my friend. And I'm glad that somebody had told me that that is one of your weapons. And so like I said, I burnished like all the ding ding day, all the day. Yeah. Okay, so I'm sorry if we're frying your eyes a little bit, and I'm gonna go ahead and make this full screen so that it's more interesting. Um, what we're looking at now, so we know that we've got these two fractures in the middle, so this is probably not gonna be a good faceter anyway. But I wanted to show you, like with that other one. Oh my gosh, sorry you guys. I'm gonna stymie the light gauge on the microscope here. Let me do this one more time. Okay, there we go. It's hard to not float here and do my job. Okay. So can you guys see the sinews of the Schiller in this one too? So those lines are Schiller. And that was a lot more Schiller than I expected to be in a clear stone. So what we'll do is we're seeing all this, ghost phantom lines like raindrops coming across. Hopefully you guys are seeing that okay. So that is no bueno for faceting unless you want that to be the element that we're all looking at. And so let me go back, take that down for a moment. Oh, look at that. And we'll bring, and what I want is to go back to this. This is the stone we were just looking at. So that looks clear. For all intents and purposes, if you're looking at it with the naked eye, would you not judge that as a clear stone other than my fingerprints that are getting all over it? Clear stone. So let's bring the gemfish back. Kind of even hard with the naked eye to see if there's any inclusion there. Not seeing a whole bunch of Schiller. The pink Schiller absolutely jumps out at you. We're seeing a little bit up there and near my top finger. You can see a little bit of the line there. Okay, so Karen, why wouldn't we want to use that for faceting? Wouldn't that be so interesting to see? Yeah, maybe. If I wanted to make that be the reason why I faceted that stone, then sure. But if I didn't, and I was looking for a clear stone to facet because the plush diamonds, the beautiful sunstones, the champagne ones, the clear ones, can be almost like a diamond, except for they're, a 6 to 7 on the Mohs hardness scale, right? They're yellow in color, but the clarity can be off the Richter good. And so they actually even called them plush diamonds at a point in their time. And Tiffany's had a claim out there for exactly that reason. They're absolutely gorgeous. So if with the naked eye, we can't see if they've got strings of Schiller in them. But if we can see it under the microscope, or if we, take a loop to it and see those Schillers, the reason why they wouldn't be good for faceting is because they would impede the light transfer through the stone. And that's the reason why you make the pavilion shine light back through that crown of your jewel. The bottom shines the light back up through, and you choose all the angles and all the shapes and all the pretty things that you do to the bottom of the stone to do that one big push up, shine light back up through that darn stone. And if you've got a bunch of silky white platelets of copper in the way, you're going to have a dull stone. And so, anyways, that's why not to use highly Schillery, phantom Schillery pieces, unless you're going for that. Okay, so let's load another guy on there. So this is that big chunk that we were just looking at in my hand. It's so big that it's off the screen. Like the bottom of it is off of the screen. And so let us, I don't know if I want to zoom out or if we want to keep looking at it closely. Whoa. Or if I shoot it. I'm just going to shoot it across the studio. Let's do this. Reload. Science in real time. Actually, we want to look through the bottom of the stone. So this is definitely a candidate for some faceting. It's a big chunky one. And I can already see that there's some space that would be good to facet through. And it is trying to deal with how much light we're giving it. And so you'll have to excuse that. All right. And we need to bring that into focus too, since we moved it around. Wrong way. We have to take it down. Oh, sorry. Okay, so we see some Schiller in this one too. See those lines? You can see these blazing, beautiful inclusions that are shining light back at us. But also you saw those diagonal lines through that left pocket, and that's where I wanted to get into. That pocket right there was exactly where I wanted to do some faceting. And it's not looking good. And if you don't know which pocket, you know, those striations are running you know, from the bottom right to the top left. So that's a Schiller you went to, and it looks so darn clear until it doesn't. Let's try it. A little top light. That's my fingerprint. So they're definitely shiny enough that I was doing damage just with fingerprints. But it's interesting how much of more of a world you've got going on with these guys than you thought, especially when you're looking at it just rough. There, it's going to compensate for the new light. Come on, compensate. Looks like fire. Yeah, but there's those Schiller lines. Phantom Schiller going through there. Gosh darn it. And so I can decide, maybe I do want to make a big, you know, emerald cut out of that guy. And let's see. Take this down and put you back up. So I'm going to bring this back over here. So we have this big rectangle. There's a big inclusion in the middle. You can kind of see that has some rainbows that are flashing back at you right now. We have some funny wonkiness to the top here, but that actually could be the bottom, the wonky part, and our flatter stuff up here at the top could be the top. And dop it about right there where we've got a clean spot, and dig down and create maybe a square or something. This is unusable. That is unusable. It looks like we've got some garbage over here too. And so really, at the end of the day, about that much of the stone is usable for faceting if I wanted to use this one. A pity? Yes. And so a lot of times when you know, somebody comes to you and says, you know, this is a big sunstone. Look at how big. You know, you would think, oh my gosh, that's plenty of carats to make a outrageous cocktail ring out of. So can you facet this for me? And I can tell them, like, you might have an outrageously big stone right this second, but when I'm done faceting that, that's going to be like, you know, just maybe a quarter if I do it right, which is sad but true of the sunstones. But I thought we'd kind of go through that. Now, what I'm going to be doing as we're going through some of these stones right now is I'm going to be making a pile of ones that I can't use, and I'm giving them away tonight to one of you guys. And so we'll speed this effort up so that we can get to a little giveaway. Um, and if you have any questions and I'm missing them, or if you need me for something, then definitely put them in all caps, since I'm kind of getting work done. And one of the other things that we were doing is we were hopefully spending some time with all this fun. We were supposed to have a guest, but the guest kind of like ended up having a conflict, and so there's a chance that our guest is going to swoop in. If it doesn't happen, then we'll definitely have the guest like next week or the week after to talk about all the tumbling stuff. All right. And so thank you for coming, Yvonne. And Weathered and Weary, thank you for coming, and is asking why it is called burnishing. I just do it. And I would agree. Just do it. Don't have to necessarily know why the name is called that. um Let's see. We've got retail value $10 a pound for potch sunstones, at least when I'm selling them. Yeah, that's interesting. And so using an opal term there as far as potch or potentially unusable or what have you. Most of the sunstones are usable for me. I'm looking for facet rough right now though. And so I'm going to share with you, like, there's no reason why that wouldn't make a beautiful chip or carving stone for somebody. And so at any rate, even if I get some glass on this, I'm seeing some different uh, micro issues, and it's thin enough that, yeah, I could do a carving with this, but it would not be something that I would necessarily want to try to facet. And so that's going to go in the giveaway pile. And let's keep her going. And it looks like Allison is also hitting the hay. Thank you for bringing yourself and all of your fun. And let's take a look at this bad boy. You can see the Schiller without magnification. See the lines going across that, like some pretty neat tiger stripes. And it kind of looks like we've got a big fracture that's going through the middle there. Yeah. Oh, but otherwise, this one is so wicked clear. I don't know if that is being conveyed, but look at how clear this sunstone is. That is so good. Why do you have to have a big crack through you? Okay, somebody's going to get lucky. That's a big sunstone. All right, so that goes into the give it to somebody pile. I'm just kind of I'm cherry picking right now at some of the biggers. There's some smaller ones, and I'll be doing some smaller faceted stones too. There's some Schiller. How many of you haven't ever seen so much white Schiller in your whole life? Or how many of you didn't even know that white Schiller existed? Look at how much white Schiller this guy has. Wow. Still a little bit wet, but these are pretty glossy. I'm so pleased with how they turned out. Like I said, there's a little bit of pitting, especially in low points, and so I'll fix that on my next tumbler run. But these would make anybody a nice candy dish, or you could definitely use them for things if you wanted to. I think that's a give them away. Give it away, get away, get away now. Okay. Hopefully I don't get a strike for that. Here's another one that looks like a giver. So a lot of times you got color in a sunstone that, wouldn't technically belong there. This is iron staining, not the Schiller color, unfortunately. That's a nice big fat stone though. And you know, if you're just looking at a pretty stone, that's pretty color. But as far as it being, you know, a precious sunstone, not so much. That goes into the give it to somebody pile. Here's a long and lean one, very clear, very flippin' clear. That one's super duper cool. You know, that would be a good piece to practice the kind of cut you would do on a tourmaline. I practiced all of my beginning cutting on sunstones just because I had enough. And so I'll practice, you know, a cut that is going to be on a more precious stone on a sunstone first. And so, you know, a lot of times you're limited with space on a tourmaline. So actually, that's a good cutter for a tourmaline cut. I'm going to keep that. Surprises. Here's a bundle of fracture that is very interesting to look at, but it's already screaming to me like it's big, pretty, but unusable. That goes into your pile if you are the winner. And Ma is saying my guest is still at least 20 minutes out, is trying to get back to join. Will keep us updated. Huh. Okay, that might just actually work. We could do a little bit quicker version. And are you saying who Tomcat Josh Jared is saying that he needs what a few of for Intarsia. So I could certainly hook up Jared. I need to talk to him anyway. And it looks like Rufotris Rooted Rockhounds is in. And Manitoba, I hope you heard that I was belling your gifted memberships earlier. Hopefully you were around for that. And so we have another super duper clear little guy right here. Tiny bit of some fracture element in there, but not very much. Not seeing a whole lot of Schiller either. I think those are mostly my fingerprints on there. Maybe a little bit of cloud there. You know, it really starts to show when you rotate it. And I don't know if you guys are getting the same effect, and hopefully you don't mind my light. I've got it turned down to the lower setting so that hopefully it's not like just burning your eyeballs in such a way that you are wondering why Karen is torturing you this evening. So when I look at it through my naked eye, yeah, that would I could practice doing smaller cut on that too, which is something that we do when we are cutting sapphires. How small can you go? How low can you go? And I was feeling like we could see that Schiller even before I turned the light on. Is that texture on the outside, or is that actually Schiller in there? Because that's crazy. Wow. That's some pretty serious zebra striping. Should we look at that underneath the microscope? Let's. If that is really what that is, then that's pretty cool, actually. Let's see if that wants to shoot across the studio. Bring you back up. Hello. And we can make that bigger for you by getting rid of me. Just put the important stuff on. And let's move this front and center. Oh my gosh, that is some really obnoxious striation that I'm pretty sure is not my fingerprint, unless I had just been like putting my fingers in honey and then smeared it across this thing. Let's see if I can't get this to shine for you guys. This is kind of like a lighten up iris agate. You kind of got to get it the right amount of light or else it doesn't work. Ah, there we go. Look at that. Gnarls. Do you guys want to see it closer? We can get much closer to that and see what these striations actually look like. Okay. Twist my arm, you guys. You got a bag. Who wants to go closer? Who wants to go faster? Okay. Ooh, I might have to, we might be a little too high. And I'm not talking about our mood or composition here. I'm just talking about the stone needing to be lower. What were you thinking? Where's your mind at? Okay. Oh, too far. Micro adjustments. You can see it without even help. There. That wavy gravy is settle down. There we go. That's all Schiller. It's like Tony the Tiger stripes. I think we can get closer. Watch out for your face. We're getting right in there. Now we're seeing also Karen's accidental pitting. Yeah, at 40x, we're starting to see those pits. Oh, fail. Bummer. Okay, it's going to take a moment to acclimate, and let's take a closer look at the Schiller. Now, if that was a perfect polish, we would see the Schiller better. Wah, wah, wah. That's pretty cool, though. Let's get closer. I don't know that we're close enough. Oh, boy. Oh, man. We are seeing what a bad polish it is now. You guys don't even want these stones anymore, right? Seeing what a bad polish it is. Just a little pitted. But there's our pretty Schiller in there. Let me see if I can get this light right. And then we can go through the surface and look at the actual Schiller. Here's our Schiller layer. Yeah, I was just wading through the different layers there. Woo. Wow. Letting the pixels settle. I don't know what you guys are seeing. There. Okay, there's the top of the stone. Going through some of that Schiller. Interesting. Sage Rat, do you cab material you can't facet? Yes. Great question. Thank you for putting it in all caps so that I could see it. It grabbed my eyeball. Thank you so much, Sage Rat. I don't want to miss your stuff. And so, yeah, definitely. Let's see. Is that the closest that we can get? No, we can get a little bit closer here. Okay, that is our ultimate closest. I'm going to see if I can just move it just a tiny bit because this isn't the best place. I think up here was a little bit better for the Schiller. There's the side. There's the center. Let's see if we can get in there. A bit. There's your Schiller. There's your platelets. Hi, guys. How cool. Yeah. I mean, basically little particles like, the rings of Saturn in there. Neat. I'm just moving the light around a little bit. That's not helping. There we go. Yeah, that's really cool. So that's a lot dirtier inside this stone than you would ever guess eyeballing it. It looks so clear, although you could see those like tiger stripes. Now this is a stone I would probably work with, you know, make a cool little cab out of or something like that. That's not the prettiest thing to look at, so we'll take that down and look at Ochi again. Hi, Ochi. And what is on stage that's causing me to not be seen? Hmm, 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 hmm. Okay, we're back. So let's do this. And there's that stone again. So you can see those stripes. And I'm going to give that to somebody. Even though that could be faceted, and actually that might be something interesting to look at through a stone that is faceted. But I think that that's, you know, kind of neat enough, especially since you can see that with the naked eye, that if you haven't seen Phantom Schiller before, then you deserve to have that. Okay, so couple more. And do you know you have an echo? I was wondering about that. I didn't. Let me see if I can fix it. I don't want to turn off the phone. See if I can get rid of it. Is that better? Nope. Shoes. Huh. Boy, it would be great to get rid of that. It's on my phone. And usually I have it hooked up to some earbuds. And so I can just chuck the earbuds somewhere else and you can't hear that. Thank you, Tomcat Josh, for letting me know. Let me see if I can't get rid of that. So you guys are having a great discussion about some iris and different stuff. Let me see if I can no, it's not my PC volume. I know exactly what the problem is, Ryan. It's just that I don't have it hooked up properly to the earbuds that take the sound away. That's how I've fixed it in the past, and it won't mute itself off. And so if you guys don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and load this onto the microscope, and we can look through that camera while I fix the phone, and everybody's happy. We'll pull this back out and put this on. And thank you for that. All capital letters, making sure that I see. And one of these days, I'm going to get not only everything straight with StreamYard, the chat's working great tonight, by the way, but also like a lighting situation so that I don't have to hold the gem light for this. That would be cool. So I'm going to go ahead and enlarge this and fix the phone. Whoops. No, I'm not. There we go. Okay, so everybody enjoy that beautiful thing. Talk about cool tumbling things while I try to remedy this situation. Let's see if that works. Is that working? I don't think we can hear it. I think that did it. Phone's hot though. Okay. Much more better. Awesome. Okay, so let's see. Thank you for helping me fix that. I can't stand it when something's going wrong. And, you know, like I think I mentioned it earlier. And since I didn't see a whole lot of comments about it, I thought maybe the sound canceling, the noise canceling was working. And obviously it wasn't. So I appreciate it. You guys are all welcome to tell me when there are malfunctionings on the live stream. That would be great. So that you guys don't have to suffer. This has like almost no Schiller. This is a great example of, oh my gosh, this is such a clear stone. It's too bad it says, oh, there's a tiny bit of Schiller right in the middle. You saw some strands. but it's such a small amount that might even just be a rub from my finger, like my fingerprint. I don't know. But otherwise, there's plenty of, unfortunately, like fracture inclusion on this stone, but very, very little Schiller on that. Pretty cool. That's going to be a give it to somebody on account that there's enough fracturing there that somebody else could pull like a cool carving out of that. But I more than likely wouldn't be able to to get to it. There we go. I don't know why I have to do that every time. I'm going to figure it out better. And so let's go on to the next one. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay. I just put it back on and it changed its orientation. Let's see if we can get it to snap back. There we go. Okay. There's our pretty bowl. Oh, hopefully not giving you guys nausea from moving it around. There's a big fatty fat. We're having the pixels relax. That's got a fair bit of inclusion, so that'll go into the give me pile. Give it away, get away. Let's see. That one. Wow, look at that. That is so clear. It's got this, I grabbed it because it's got like kind of a golden tone and it looks like it's coming from an iron inclusion right there. And so I figured it would be a good gimme, but that actually might be a faceter. We're waiting to see a faceter. So I guess also what you guys are seeing is how many out of like say a belt run actually could be a facet stone. Like not every sunstone that you end up with, you might end up with hundreds of stones and end up with 20 ones that are any good for faceting. And these are the champagne colored stones, like the colorless. Ooh, we're kind of out of focus there, huh? So these are the colorless stones, and they're arguably not as valuable. I need to make myself some more room here. Sorry, guys. They're not quite as valuable. Although I noticed that the market price for the champagne ones has gone up. That is so flippin' clear. Yeah, I'm gonna have to hold on to that. That's a good one. And so you can see that there's probably a trillion or something like that in there. It's deep. It's not huge, but it's deep enough and clear enough to get, if you can imagine a triangle in that shape, if I cut it just right, you can see the triangle in it, and I could probably make it about that size if you just draw a triangle over that. And so that's not bad. That's since it's already windowed, we already know it's good. I'm not going to run into any issues, most likely, unless I do, because that happens too. So I'm trying to look for the ones that I can put into your pile so that we can do a giveaway. Here's a super interesting stone that would be definitely for the giveaway. There's a bunch of inclusions in here. And one of the things that I think is exciting when you have some of the inclusions is that there can be pieces of basalt trapped inside, which might be what's going on in there. You can see a little bit of that. And it's just telling you the story of how it was born, which is pretty cool. And so that's a spunky sunstone with some character that goes into the give it away pile. Here's another big chunker that's probably not going to work. You can see some. Oh, what's interesting about this particular configuration is that more often than not, when I've found color stones that are bicolor, they've been in a section of a stone that is sectioned off like this. See how there's there's a crack there, a fissure that goes all the way around. And I'll be darned if like there'll be, you know, a big bold green spot in it, and then I'll turn it around and it'll be red, and then you'll turn it and it'll be green again. This one seems to be empty, but I found so many of them in this particular configuration. It's like it's in jail. It's like in this little box. So at any rate, that'll go to somebody. And if you actually broke that apart, then you'd have a pretty, there's some meat on that, on this side. Just would take a little bit of work. And so somebody's got something fun to look at, and then also potentially and fun to carve, like was said earlier. And then potentially even if you're looking for something to practice on, you might have something to practice on. This is another one that's fractured up just enough that it's got a lot of character, but too much character for me to do some faceting with. And plus, when you cut into some of these that have like the issues, like those fissures that are going across right there, 2 of them. If you try to facet through that anyway, either it might just fall off, or again, you're going to disrupt the way that the light is shining. And oh, looks like I got stuck on the comments there. Let me go to the bottom. That was weird. So just when I said everything was working well. Let's see. Perfect fish shape. Ah, nice. And it's like a whole bowl of sunstones. I know it is. It's so exciting. Of course, I'm gonna, you know, pick them away from all this media, reuse the ceramic medium, which is really super fun. That you get to you know, it's a reusable thing. This one's gonna be a nice little faceter. You can just tell just by looking. It's a little ice cube. It's almost perfect. It looks like there's a little inclusion up towards the top there. But for windowing, I can't believe how awesome this is. And it looks like Patrick is still here. So Patrick, have you tried tumbling to be able to window your stuff? I would love to know. And then for those of you who are looking at this, I took this all the way to polish because, oh my gosh, it's so pretty to look at these this way. But also, I didn't really need to go all the way to polish. I could have windowed them fine at even 500. And so if you're looking at doing this as a tool, you don't have to go that far to see inside and know that it's clear. Although I think at 500, I probably couldn't tell how much Schiller was inside. And so actually having them all the way done is pretty awesome because you can see like that is ready to go. I'll still only probably get like, you know, 3/4 or half of this stone when it's done, but that's going to be a fun little banger of a stone. All right, let's try to find some more for you guys though. That one is interesting. It looks like it's got surface fractures, but does it have fractures in the meat? Because that's a lot of stone. Let's bring in the gem light and see if that helps us to grade this stone. You'd never know this if it had all of its crusty crust on it, whether it would be usable or not. There's some Schiller running through there. You can see the straight lines of Schiller running across, especially that upper portion. Schiller in one stone can like not only be multi-directional, but also it can only be hanging out in one part of the stone. It's not uniform throughout the stone. It's just, it does what it wants, which is pretty interesting. Gotta look at that with my naked eye to know, actually. Huh. looks like there might be, that might go into the give it to you guys pile. There might have been a big inclusion across the when part of that, but there was a lot of meat there, so might have to take a closer look at that. Here's another colorful stone, some iron staining and some fracturing through the middle, so that goes into your pile. Whoever gets this giveaway, I'll probably keep on adding to the pile as I go through these tumbles. That one's got plenty of meat for the faceting right in the big bulb there at the end. You can see this flange would get cut off right away. And so I'll have to trim some of this stuff, but there's a nice chunk right there for it. And by the way, this is one of its natural cleavage planes right there. They have 2 natural cleavage planes to the feldspars. And so you can see how that's lining up right there. And a lot of times the Schiller will be on the cleavage plane, like it's got a dusting of the Schiller as it was forming right on the cleavage plane. And let's see. I might start cabbing Jolly Ranchers and cover them in UV resin. What happened to the chat while I was zoning out in Gemland? Oh my gosh. And Ma is saying, I made my first cab using the side of a cutoff disc and Nova points. I'll keep it forever. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can definitely do that. And I use the cutoff discs to trim these. I don't even take it to a saw. And Manitoba is not going to be too technical, I don't think. I'm wondering what that oh, the webinar. I saw the thing for that. Yeah, we need to. Did you do you have a link maybe that Ma could share? Patrick, that would be super cool. It's going to be super cool. Yeah, here we go. Go after that, Ma. I saw a thing for it go by and I needed to check it out further, or else I would speak to it directly right now. But yeah, it would be wonderful if you would link that up, Ma, because you know it's going to be good. I've been so under it this week that I didn't even have a chance to go after what that was about. I just saw Patrick's face and I was like, oh, how cool. What's going on with that? I thought maybe he was being a guest somewhere. And so yeah, definitely wanting to check that out. There's some meat inside there in the very jelly center of this guy. There's enough surface stuff going on that I'm going to put it in the give it to somebody else pile. Yeah, I'm just running through these footloose and fancy free. Like somebody's gonna get some fun jemmies. This one's another sort of cut in half one. And it looks like we've got some other fissures also kind of going through. Now, obviously they stayed together in the tumbler. So this doesn't guarantee that it's gonna fall apart. Like if you should try to cab it, it's probably gonna be just fine, just like this. Because it made it all the way to polish in the tumbler. And so I just wouldn't facet it on account that I don't want the inclusion in the faceted gem. And then also I don't want it falling apart, like sloughing off a whole side of itself as I'm trying to, go through 100 facets 3 or 4 times over. And so that goes into your pile. I got a super thin one right here. That'll go into your pile too. The thin ones were always the funnest ones for carving, in my opinion. This one looks like it's got the basalt in it. And so that's a really good example of that. And so I'll backlight it, but that'll go into your bin as well. So like actual little nuggets of the rock get trapped, which is so neat. Like there's some color inclusion there too, but like I'm pretty sure I just plucked this out, and so I haven't looped it, but I'm pretty sure that those are pieces of the rock. So that goes into your pile. That's clear. I can already tell, like, there's so many keepers in here. I am so delighted. I gotta add right now for any other dorks that goes into your pile, and we'll do the giveaway here like within the next 5 minutes. And so if you're interested, there's only 40 people here in the house, and so how cool, like your odds are very, very good. But yeah, I'll get some more of these, and then I'll keep on adding to it, like I said, as I go through my tumblers here. That's an interesting one. Look at that big old chunk. These are bigger. Like all of these have already lost weight in the tumbler. I wanted to start off with, a bowl full of some of my bigger sunstones to start tumbling with, just to see how much weight that they would lose. This is not normal for sunstones. I would say the average size of a sunstone is way closer to this guy. Look at that's a total faceter. It'll be a small stone, but it's going to be a good one. It's so clear. I'm so excited. And so you can see like average on the right and kind of big on the left. This might even be on the smaller side, but like so many of them are just so small. This is not a good example of what the normal size for sunstones is. These are big. Just so you know, I'm going to give this to you. That goes to somebody out there right now. And here's another one with some yellow color to it, and that's some staining, but it looks like a lemon Jolly Rancher. Who said Jolly Rancher? You've got Jolly Rancher on my mind. Josh, gosh darn it. Oh, you're telling your first cab stories. I love it. This is great. I'm gonna have a fun time going back over this and seeing people's comments, since I'm missing so much tonight, since we're actually doing a job. But what I also wanted to comment on, I don't know. Well, no, that's probably too fractured. This would make a great little carver, because all you'd have to do is get rid of that little fractury part. There's like some mellow fracturing, but I don't know. I don't think it would be structurally all that devastating if you wanted to make something out of that one. So I'll put that in. But look at how clear that is. Super clear. Okay. But I did get, and I'd go through this really quick, this in the mail. And this in the mail came from Facetron. And one of the reasons why I was excited that this came out of the tumbler today, and this came in the mail today, is that they're so related. We have Dops. And for the Facetron, the Dops are specific. They're keyed so that it always knows exactly the bearing. So as you go through the different grits, or you take it off, the dop off, and you put it onto like the table function, and then you go back to angles, it knows which angle it was at. So it's a smart feature. We've got a belt, because I can start hearing that the belt wants to go on my machine, and that would be terrible if I'm in the middle of stuff and have to stop everything to get a belt. And this like box was expensive, but this is what I got. But I'm still so excited about it. I got some of the 2mm, 4mm, and 3mm Dops, so that I can work with basically the sizes that the Sunstones are. You can see the little V dop there that holds the bottom of a rectangle stone, like if you're doing an emerald cut or a tourmaline. Didn't have enough V's. We've got the cone, the ice cream cone holds the regular, that guy there, that holds the bottom of your stone if you're doing a regular circle cut, or some of the freeform cuts, which I'm getting into. And then you've got ones that are flat on the top, and that holds it when you are doing the bottom. So when you're forming your pavilion, which is the bottom of the stone, you stick it on a flat dop, and so you can't facet it if you don't got the dops. And so I am stoked. I've got double dops now, so that I can have twice as many stones ready to go. And if I could just birth twice as many arms, then we could just be mass producing. So excited. All right. Steinkerns to Tomcat. And I think that we should all. And nice that they are simple, flat for the key. Would be probably easier to make if you needed custom ones. I might even know somebody who used to be a machinist that might be able to make some for me. That would be cool. They are not cheap, but I understand that they're, you know, that they're work to do too. So shoot, you're gonna pay somebody something for them. But I am so excited. Like the fact that little brass sticks could be so exciting. Let's all drink while we look at another stone. Wow. This little jelly bean has rainbows up there in the corner, but it's so darn clear through the middle that you can see my fingerprint on the other side. So, you know, for not knowing how to tumble, this is my first tumbler batch. You know, you can see places where in the divots it didn't get the polish, but where it did get the polish, my gosh, it got it and good. It turned out pretty clear. Even though that's clear, I mean, you could make a stone out of the center of that, but I'm gonna toss that into the it's for somebody else pile. And shoes, has it been 5 minutes? It might be time to do our giveaway. Here's another one. That might just be better for the giveaway pile. All right. So what I'm gonna do is you guys were so generous during my live stream sale that that you took care of everybody who didn't want to have to pay shipping, didn't have to. That's how kind everybody was during the live stream, uh, helping out with the shipping. And I'm gonna go ahead and sport the shipping on this, of course, for the giveaway of some sunstones, um, as a thank you. And I know Sage Rat helped, and Tomcat Josh helped with the shipping, and some other people helped with the shipping during the live stream sale. I love you guys. Thank you so much for all of your support. So somebody gets these. I think I just tossed some of that. I just wanted to show you. And then, like I said, you get even more than that, because I'm going to keep on going through the material and grading it out. And the stuff that I can't use, I mean, not all of it, but most of it, some of it, I'll go ahead and toss in your box. And I'll toss some other like Oregon goodies in there for you too, especially if I know you and I know what you might need or want some of. Oh my gosh, Josh, more shipping. Thank you. Thank you so much. Here, let's ring the bell. Thank you so much. Well, the shipping's on Tomcat Josh now. You're a doll. Thank you so much for that. And we've got drink while looking at stones, my dream come true. Right? Did I put that up on the? Yeah, I think I did. Okay. I'm not even taking a pension to what I'm doing here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is have this Sunstone giveaway. Plus, I'll toss some other fun goodies from Oregon into your box, and maybe even from Blind Squirrel Rocks or other places, just depending on what I'm cutting. Because I'm cutting some really fun stuff right now, and so you might accidentally get something dropped in your box out of like the saw cuts. Which let me tell you, you guys probably saw that unboxing with the Theo stuff. I'm wading through some really fun stuff right now. Okay, so what we're going to do is first off, I'm going to take a piece of sandpaper because that's what I have handy. And where in the world is a pen? Let's get a pen. I'm going to write the number on the pen. I'm going to write the number on the pen. I'm, again, not taking a pension at all. I'm going to write it on the sandpaper. This is some nice 600 wet dry sandpaper. I highly recommend it, especially for jewelry purposes. And I'm going to write this number down. Okay, it is written. It hath been written. And it is placed right here. It is used sandpaper. I used it on that pendant that I showed you guys during the news. Sometimes you got to do stuff by hand, even though machines are real nice. And thank you so much. Oh no, you didn't just get this started. Manitoba Mike's Rocks, thank you so much. Let's ring the bell. No way, I see another one. This is crazy. You guys. See what you started, Sage Rat. Thank you so much. You guys rock. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Let's ring the bell. It's a shipping war. That's hilarious. That's great. I'll put some extra good stuff in here. All right. So, oh my gosh. What we need to do is think of a number between 1 and 200. There's not that many of you guys here. And so somebody's going to for sure win, probably without overlapping with anybody else. So go ahead and start right now. Number between 1 and 200 will win you some of these tumbled Oregon Sunstones, plus some other fun goodies that will go into just a thank you giveaway box because you guys are all so flippin' rad. I love you. I love you all. Oh my gosh, here I am again. There we go. Cheers. Oh my gosh, you guys are out of control. I love it. Look at this red lady. Did I say hi to you already, red lady, or did you just swoop in? You're the best, and I love your laugh. Sunstones are awesome, and so are you, red lady. Thank you so much. Lady in red. Thank you. You guys are fantastic. I just got a flash report here that the guest is coming. We'll go on for a little bit of time with our guest after we finish this giveaway. It'll be fun to do some bantering, and then we'll eventually let you guys go to bed. And so just wait, there's more. We have this giveaway and a guest that is swooping in really late. This is fantastic. Okay, so does everybody have their number in? I will. Oh, hey, Yogi Wifey Boo Boo is here. Good to see you. And hopefully Yogi is doing good too. All right. Thank you, Ma, for that. And does anybody have a bedtime? Maybe we don't. I see somebody is really close to the number. It's exciting. Aw, thank you so much. I love that you guys are here. I seriously had the most rotten week, and so it's so fun that we get to hang out on Fridays. I look forward to it every week. I'm so serious. It's such a blast hanging out with you guys. Hey, there's Dawn. Good. Does everybody have your numbers in 1 to 200? And a couple more seconds. And thanks again, Red Lady. You're the best. All right, I think we have the shipping covered. And it's a good thing. Are we all in? All in? And there's James. I knew if the lady in red was here that James was not too far behind. Somebody is close, I guess that means I'm out. How do you know? How do you know, Ryan? Oh, I'm sorry, Romania. I think we just woke up Romania. Oh dear. I'm sorry if you were trying to sleep and we were ringing the bell. Okay. Is everybody ready? Here comes your number. And it's number 97. And if anybody is closer than 99, then please step forward. So that would have to be 95. I don't think I saw that. And that would be Mr. Dirksen over there in Canada, eh? And so now I'm wondering if it is in fact Mr. Okay, James got 85. Oh, you were so close, but Greg had 99. That was like I was like, woo, you're right there. You're right there. And so, Greg, I can send it or you can come pick it up or I could meet you. How like hilarious if we are out there at Sunstones and I'm giving you Sunstones. I don't know. That might be redundant. Do you want them ahead of time? I'll send them to you. I just don't know if you have like a tariff on your side that you have to pay. But hopefully if it's just a gift, then you don't have to pay anything. We'll talk about it. But congratulations, Greg. I'm so excited that you got this. And there's going to be more. We'll have to talk about what more I can get into your box. But that's awesome. You get the Sunstones, and we have our guest is awaiting in the wings, and so that was fun, you guys. I'm glad we got to sort some Sunstones, and that we got a giveaway on, and now we have fashionably small.
Hi. I guess 97.
Really? Did you win? Did you win?
Did I get it? Was I right?
Well, I actually you have Sunstones in your box too. So
Yeah, no, that's fine.
you don't have to worry about it. But how
So
you doing?
I'm very late.
It's okay.
Very, very late.
I'm just gonna sit back and drink this and you can talk.
Yeah. So yesterday was my nephew's birthday. So today after work, we took him to Build-A-Bear and then got him crumble cookies. And then we went to the arcade and ate pizza and he was pinging.
Oh yeah.
But I was like, we should be home by like 8. And here we are. I think I got home at like 9:20. So yeah.
Well, I figured that there was no way that we were going to talk long enough to have you be able to swoop in, and here we are.
Yeah, no, I messaged Ma. She's still going. I was like, okay, but is it like redundant for me to hop in? It's like, just do it. All right. Okay.
Nope. So obviously we were like, your cat just totally tilted the Wyoming picture behind you. I love it.
Yeah, no, they're both just pinging like crazy because we just got home. So they're like extra pinging. I'm sure you can hear the jingling in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be Spencer. He's on a tear.
It's appropriate because we were talking about tumbling. That was the theme of the evening. And I don't know if anybody here knows that you tumble.
I don't think so.
Well as your cat.
I've never talked about tumbling.
Right. And so you're going to surprise everybody with some of the genius that you have to share this evening with us. As far as the tumbling goes, I would love to start off with a question for you. What do you do more, vibratory or the rotary?
This is a loaded question because I don't own a vibratory. So
Well, see, I knew that as the interviewer.
I spend more time rotary tumbling for just solely for the reason that that's the tumbler that I have. But we're hoping to remedy that here pretty soon because I really need to get one. The vibratories are so good for certain things.
Right on.
Dude, Spencer is so distracting right now. He is doing like acrobatics, just flipping around, falling off the chair. I'm sorry. If you see me looking off and just looking confused, that's my cat.
He's demonstrating the tumbling. I mean,
He
he
just
wants to be part of the theme of the show.
he is all the time 3,000% unless he's sleeping. He's just always pinging. It's ridiculous.
And it's funny that Tomcat Josh is bringing up that you have a vibratory lap, which is different from a vibratory tumbler.
It is.
I know that some people like slur that a little bit. Like somebody thought that that's what I had gotten, and they were like, "Wow, for Sunstones?"
That wouldn't work.
No.
I love my vibratory lap, to be fair. I adore my vibratory lap.
Reminds me of the old football game, that like had the vibrating like players, like like running across and winning.
Yeah, you would not get much done with Sunstones on a vibratory lap.
Right. So in the rotary tumblers, like do you do a fair amount of tumbling?
So it has been turned off probably a total of like a month cumulatively over the 9 or 10 years that I've had it. So not only do I tumble, I am always tumbling. Like I don't show it very often in videos because I don't know. I guess in my brain, I'm always just like, Rob exists. You don't need me to talk about this. but
my tumbler is a good plug. Like the reason why none of the other channels that do tumbling videos is because Rob already is.
Because Rob, there's like I could do it, but it's just. I don't know. That's why also I'm actually working on one right now for Patreon. It'll be a free Patreon video, like public Patreon tier, but I am doing one on that. And the only reason I felt compelled to do that was because it was something Rob hasn't talked about. It's like, it feels very redundant to do a tumbling video on the majority of topics when Rob exists, because I guarantee he's already done it and he will have done it better than I could. So
right.
If you have tumbling questions for the most part, just go to Michigan Rocks because he's doing it better than anyone.
Yeah, and that was really good advice too. That when I was talking about getting into the vibe tumbling, you were like, I think I asked you like one question. You're like, go ask Rob.
Just go to Rob's.
Right, like not even that I'm going to talk to Rob. Just go to his channel and just binge on the appropriate videos, which I would concur was good advice. So what do you typically put into your tumblers, not cats?
So I'm weird. I don't usually tumble for like the reasons that most people tumble. I absolutely view my tumbler as a lapidary tool. So if I'm tumbling something, it's to like for this is more of a kind of a recent thing. Like actually, wow, no, it's not. Why? Sorry. That just hit me how long it's been. Almost a year, actually, since I started working on Spencer Opals. It's like, it's not that long. And I'm like, oh, no, that was May. We're almost to May again. What the heck? What happened to the year? Right. Sorry, anyway, so I use it for windowing a lot. So, oh gosh, Pippin, why? Guys are so distracting tonight. Alexis, I need you. I need you to wrangle your cat. I don't know if she heard me or not. We'll see what happens. All right. Anyway, like Quartz, for example, it's really hard to find where your nice clear pockets are. So I will just take like entire tumbler barrels of clear quartz, tumble them, and then I can see exactly where my clear pockets are. Then I can trim those off for making caps for triplets. I also do this for faceting grab.
Right.
Can you give me like 3 minutes so I can deal with this cat? He is so distracting. One sec, I'll be right back.
Cat wrangling there.
Yeah.
And so what he was talking about was exactly the reason why I got the tumbler in the first place as well, is that, you know, apart from having a candy dish full of beautiful tumbled rocks, which we all would love to have and just paw through them and gem gaze, that the fact that you can finish a stone that's a cab way faster, or that you can window a stone where you may or may not need it or want it for faceting. You thought you had like 100 carats of faceting grade stuff, and you found out that you only had like 7, and or vice versa. So it's important. Ma is feeling super OCD about that picture. I can't tell you how many times I like looked at that picture behind him when we were doing the Rockhound podcast. I'd be like, oh yeah, they shared in Wyoming. So perhaps when he comes back, we'll try that, or we'll go like blazing through this interesting topic so that
we'll be quick.
Yeah.
We'll be quick for this. Okay.
Worry about
I swear to God, dude.
Did he come back?
Yes. Well, I asked Alexis to get him, and she instead grabbed the box of crumble cookies and walked away. And I'm like, dude, no, cat, not cookies, cat. I need the cat to be wrangled.
Priority.
God, thank you, Alexis. Okay, sorry. Anyway, so windowing for faceting rough, so you can find your clear pockets. Windowing on quartz so that I can find my clear pockets for caps. I also, if I don't know how I feel about a rock, I'll throw it in a tumbler to window it for cabbing so that I can kind of see what's going on inside of it. Because some rocks look way different on the outside. Like that one that I sent you, the trifecta rock I sent you.
Oh, yeah.
You would not know what was going on in that thing. So just tossing it in a tumbler is a really good way to do that. But then I do really weird stuff where I tumble a lot of iris agate slablets. I tumble a lot of just weird stuff like agonite shells and cabochons. The whole video that I just mentioned on the Patreon is all about tumbling cabs.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Pippin, why are you being so stubborn? Just scoop him, go to the bedroom, and close the door. He's like, no, I don't want to be in here. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I guess the point of the line of questioning is that it can be for sort of aesthetic reasons that, you know, or hobby reasons why you tumble, but there's like a whole professional reason why one can tumble.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like almost none of the rocks that I tumble just because I want a shiny, pretty rock. Like it is all to serve a purpose of like mass producing cabs, or I absolutely refuse to polish iris agate slabs because it's nightmarish and I hate it. I hate flat polishing so much.
You grind your fingers to like the knuckles.
It's seriously the worst.
Uncool.
It's the worst. So yeah, stuff like that. Or I run a lot of tests which the tumbler is great for. Like I actually have opal triplets in my tumbler right now, and they worked amazing.
That shocked me. I couldn't believe that you were doing that. That's so ballsy, and it's working though.
Well, I've learned the secret to a lot of my techniques is once you get enough stuff, you just have to take the plunge and be okay to ruin some.
Yeah.
Like one of my biggest things in rocks is that I just don't care if I ruin stuff. Like I will take a second to be like, oh, that sucks. And then I immediately forget it ever existed. So I'm very reckless when I'm testing out with stuff. So if it works, awesome. That changes the way I do things forever. If it doesn't, oh well, it's already out of my mind.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you completely. The experimenting is totally necessary. And that was why I started off with some of like my better big sunstones was that
Yeah.
like if I have to polish these down to little tiny nubs, at least I will have learned through the process what to do and what not to do.
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
yeah, you got to sacrifice, break a few eggs.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. Like the which I bought another barrel because I ruined one of my barrels, so I was only running one at the moment. But I got a new barrel when I went to the rock shed, and that whole barrel is just going to be nothing but agatized shells, like loose turritella shells,
Jeez, that's going
which
to
was
be
a
insane.
yeah, that was a test I ran a couple of years ago, and it worked amazing. So I've been waiting for the right time to do another one. I also have a
That's
whole
why.
nother batch of. Sorry, what?
Oh, I was gonna say that stuff is not allowed even. It's just too good. Like
Yeah,
those tumbled
yeah.
agate
Well, there's
shells.
little things to know, like the opal triplets, for example. If you just make it like a normal cab up to like 600 grit, you can skip step one, and then you skip all of the rough shaping. So it's actually really gentle to put something into a tumbler at step two. So those shells are actually a good example of that. So they do not go into step one at all. You go straight to step two with them. And then all you're doing is removing that like really thin outer shell. Because if you do it in step one, they're just going to get ripped apart.
Ugh,
Step one is
which would be
very
tragic.
aggressive. Yeah.
Tragic.
I was telling Ma about this when she was getting into it because she was asking what like is kind of relative comparatively. And I know it's 60, 90 grit, but it is not 60 or 90 grit. It is more like 36 grit when it actually comes to like how it works stuff. It
Wow.
is very aggressive and works through stuff a lot. You're like step two, which I know again says 120, 220. It is not. It is more like a 360 to a 600. So that leap is huge. So there's a lot of stuff where if you want to be very gentle with it, do pre-forming and then just skip straight to step two. Because step one is very aggressive.
Awesome.
It's the
Reptile
same
Z.
way in on vibratory labs. Like you will, if you work with the vibratory lab, you'll notice that your step one is like if you have fractures in that rock, you're going to find them real quick.
Yeah, yeah. I skipped it on the Sunstones. It was not even recommended.
Yeah,
So I,
yeah.
I, I have no experience with that. But Reptile Z is asking, how do you get the center of flat pieces to polish in a tumbler?
I just let them run a little longer. Um, I also I talk about all of this in that video because a lot of what I'm doing is in that video is cabochons, like normal cabochons, and the rest of it is iris cabs, which if you've never seen an iris cabochon, you can't have any dome on it for the most part. Like if you cap it, you can have a dome on it, but you do not want to like actually dome the agate itself because it messes with the color play. So it is two flat plates. Greg, my car was about 600 pounds heavier coming home. We went crazy. I am very excited. That video, I just finished filming that video today, so look forward to that coming soon. Um, what was I saying? Oh, so I'm so tired tonight. um,
You were talking about the flat
Flats.
yeah.
Yeah, so they just need to go longer. So it's one thing you'll find in tumbling, unlike almost any other form of lapidary, except for very very specific things like the shells. Actually, are one of them. Is you can't really go too long. It's just going to keep getting better and better and better. So if you have it set in your brain that you do 7 days per step, you kind of, and I did this for a long time, you kind of subconsciously train yourself to be like, this isn't working at 7 days. It may need 14 days or 21 days. It's a very, your set amount of time for how long it needs to be in each batch is very much a feel thing, and it is very fluid depending on what you're working on. So, like, I regularly tumble slabs like this big, and they take longer, but you can absolutely get phenomenal polishes on those flats down in the middle. The trick is just letting them go quite a bit longer.
That's good advice. And I was actually going to ask you if you had like a piece of advice for a beginner, what you think the most valuable advice might be, and it might actually be a good coattail to what you just said.
My number one tip for tumbling, and I say this all the time, is you need to, whatever you're doing with your process, with your steps, you need to double to triple your step 3. I'm not even joking. I've sent you guys pictures, and you see what the result is when you do that. Like my rocks are on day 2 in the tumbler on step 4, and they already look done, and I'm still doing like 5 more days on them. If you want a polish where you can count your pores in it, like go overkill with step 3, because the way it works is your step 1 just finds your shape. It sets your shape on what your final product is going to be. Step 2 refines that shape and levels it up. Step 3, though, is so important. And I think a lot of people think step 4 is important, like most important, which it is. It's very important. But I would argue step 3 is most important because that's your base polish. However good step 3 comes out is directly what influences how good your step or your like actual final polish is going to be. So when I'm going like this batch that was in step 3, I think I gave them like, I think it was like 19 days in step 3. Theoretically, they were done after like 9 days, but I still just let them keep going because I was like, all right, no, they're not quite where I want them to be. I'm also very picky when I'm looking for stuff. So
That's awesome.
The other tip I would give is get into the habit of forgetting about it, because the longer it runs, the better. So if you're like wanting to check it every single day, like you can do that, but it's way easier to let it go way longer if you just forget it's going. I do that regularly.
So, this is interesting. We've been talking a little bit about burnishing, and I dabbled with burnishing actually in between all the steps because I needed the help cleaning
Yeah.
not only the stones, but also the brand new media. Since
Yes.
I was breaking in the ceramic, it needed it. And
Yeah.
so Manitoba Mike's is saying burnish with borax for 2 days after step 3 and check it, thank me later. So that sounds like something that we'll have to play with, because I certainly didn't leave my burnishings for that long, but I could tell a noticeable difference
Yeah.
with the borax burnish. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm a new fan of that, but I'm a new fan of this whole fandango. So I don't know
I mean,
about
even back in the podcast days, I was like twisting all of your guys' arms to get into tumbling, and you're like, meh.
so true. I had no need for it back then, but I mean,
Yeah.
I had not started. I think I had just landed on my faceting machine, but hadn't done much faceting until like we were starting to peter out. And I
Yeah,
think
I think so.
that's when we both transferred on to like just blowing up our chat stream for the podcast
Poor
after
Kurt and
hours.
Kyle, man. It was like 350 messages a day minimum, all the time, just at length.
Yeah, it was pretty
God.
bad.
Yeah, it's
But
fine.
it is fine. They both seem okay with us
Yeah.
still. But the tumbling again, it took some of us a little bit longer to come around to see what a valuable resource it is, and yet it is better for some things and not as good for other things. So what would you say your very favorite materials to put in are? And then we'll go ahead and abut that with what you'd leave out of your tumble at all costs, or your least favorite.
So my favorite is probably Iris Agate because it's such a nightmare to work with normally. Just because I don't know, you all know how hard Montana agate is, and flat polishes suck. It really sucks. So when you have something that already sucks on a rock that is like brutally, unforgivingly hard, and you have to polish both sides like perfectly, it sucks. It's the worst. So being able to just do all of your pre-shaping, toss them in a tumbler, and forget about them, it's amazing. It's the best. There's like 50 Iris agate cabs coming out of my tumbler when it's finished. It's so good. As for my least favorite, it's hard to say. Because I have gotten actually finally figured out the method for getting good results, but obsidian I had a friggin' battle with Obsidian, getting Obsidian to work in a rotary tumble. It's apparently way easier to do in a vibratory, but
This
rotary
is what I
tumbling
hear.
Obsidian sucks.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And the funny thing is, once I got the methodology figured out and like tested enough to figure out what was finally working, it worked pretty quick. But I probably had like 4 or 5 months on that one batch, just toying with different things to see what would work and what wouldn't. It took so long, and they need an additional step. If you include burnishing, Obsidian needs like 6 steps.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, and worth it in some regards. So do you freshen your grit or not so much?
So I only do on step 1 for the most part, because your step 1 grit breaks down way faster than all the other grits. So like if say at the end of day 7, you're check your rocks and they're not quite where you want them to be, I'll empty my tumbler and restart. Like I keep things on like a 7-day cycle. So I will set it up, let it run for 7 days, completely ignore it during that entire time until step 4. And I'll just completely ignore it that entire time. And on day 7, I will check it again to see where it's at. And I'll just keep refreshing it until they're ready to move on. But it's very rare with what I tumble that I have to do additional steps. If you're just doing like normal, like round stones, you may need to go longer. But the thing about step 3 and 4 is they're compounds. So they dissolve into the water. So they don't actually get changed much during the process. Like obviously you're adding rock content to it just because it's like grinding down the rocks a little bit, but it's a soluble like compound dissolving in that water. So it's not really something you have to replace. And step 2 does not really break down nearly at the same rate that the step 1 does. Your step 1 grit breaks down fast. Like if you do a normal set of normal rocks for 7 days, you may find that there's no grit whatsoever left in your barrel on day 7.
Right on. And so Jeff was asking a pin-on question. Okay, but do you clean them out after a set time, then just put more step 3 grit in, or do you just let them run longer?
I just let them run longer.
Yeah, you sort of answered that question, but I wanted to double down and clarify that question.
Yeah, so I'll check them again every 7 days. I check them, and if they're not ready, I just close it back up and let it keep going. I don't actually top off at all. In fact, sometimes I pour water out. Here's another thing. I talk about this in the video that's coming out. I probably use way less water than most people too, and I found amazing results with using way less water than you'd think.
Very interesting. Yeah. So once again, unfortunately, some experimenting or going to certain people who have obviously shown some ability in the area in which you feel like you'd like to aspire to. And that reminded me of a question that, so Jeff was asking about the letting it go longer, or do you refresh? But you were talking about having a certain day of the week. I think a lot of people that are tumblers wonder how to keep track. And so I would just like to ask you the simple question of how do you keep track of what you're doing?
Oh, Tumbler Wednesdays. It's literally a thing, and I've gotten onto it, and I think you're getting onto it now, Karen. Yeah, it's just Tumbler Wednesdays. I will literally ignore my Tumbler's existence unless it's Wednesday or unless they're on step 4, because it means that if you do everything right, they shouldn't need to go a full week on 7. Like you really realistically, like 4 or 5 days is fine. Less even. I think the ones that are going in step 2, that tomorrow will be day 3 and they're done. Like they don't need any more than that. So step 4, I give them less than a week, but every other step, I just check every 7 days. So then that's Tumbler Wednesday. I have literally waited to start batches until Wednesday. But and also, to be fair, this is easier for me because my schedule, because I make my own schedule, is Alexis's schedule. So I don't work on Monday or Tuesday. So for me, Wednesday is my work Monday. So it's just easier to like have your 2 days off, come back to work, and that's the first thing I do is check the Tumbler. But
right?
Just give yourself a specific day, like Tumbler Wednesday or Tumbler Thursday or whatever. But just it's really easy to keep track of where you're at when you just always do it on a specific day.
I'm gonna just drop the suggestion right now, right here. We have a Tumblr whole channel in the Discord, and there's some really good tumblers over there, and I love seeing your spoils. And I've been lurking around in there because I've been like I've been a passive interested in tumbling person for a little while now, and I finally got into it. And so don't tell anybody. But I say let's all do Tumblr Wednesday, and I'm calling you out right now. I want to see your tumbles wherever they're at, whatever stage they are, on Wednesdays. I think that would be
I
a
love
really
it.
fun function of that channel over there on the Discord, and then we can all kind of get excited about everybody else's Tumblr batches all at once. And so I think
Yeah, I love that.
we should have that be incepted as of right now. We've got it looks like Josh is asking you half the water, Theo? Question mark, drama?
So here's something I can use as an example. I'm looking for a vessel that is tumbler barrel shaped. So here's how I do tumbling. It's different from person to person. I way underfill my tumblers. You can go considerably higher than, like, most people will tell you to go higher than what I usually do. And if I'm doing a normal batch of just rocks, I'll go a little more than this. But typically speaking, I fill my tumbler 1/3 to half full of rocks, which is way less than I know a lot of people do. And I will have my water roughly a half inch to an inch below the top of the rocks. So there's just enough water to keep your grits like moving and suspended slightly. Like there's not a lot of water at all. I know a lot of people, the norm is filling your water to the top of the rocks, or even just a little bit above the rocks. It's just, I've found drastically better results when I have way less water, which I find very interesting.
Yeah, I have to say that I overwatered my second phase also, which was crucial. Like that's the one that makes all the difference in the world, because it's typically number 3 where I was
Yep.
at, and you don't want to mess that one up, and I did. And so I checked that box. I messed up that one, and I know how to do better this next time. But I did
Yep.
find that at least with the vibratory tumbler, that it did not like to have as much water. The dryer without being all the way dry, which we talked about at the very beginning of the live stream. I messed up and I made cement, and we all know not to do that.
Oh my gosh.
Ever.
I've had to throw a barrel away after a step 1 grit dried out completely. It literally becomes cement. It's crazy.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
I was so sad. I was like, it was my first tumbler batch ever.
Yeah.
First tumbler experience ever. And like I open it up, I'm like all excited. And I'm like,
what's all this great stuff glued into every crevice?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, well, let's get that out of the way.
Yeah.
So, but
it's good to do that early and not later.
Yeah. It was, I had low expectations of this first batch, and it exceeded my low expectations by far and away of what I was hoping for. So I got off easy. I didn't have anything that I had to throw away, and so so that was good. Now, so Tomcat offered you could set your phone alarm. I like having the day of the week. I also saw on I think somebody over on the Discord actually marks their tumbler itself with the grit that it's got on it, which I also, oh my gosh, like I saw how, especially if you're going for longer periods of time on that tumble, like you might want to write your grit down, have like a note sheet or a dry erase board, or write it. I loved having like that person had it right on the tumbler. Like I think that they had like a grease pencil, or like a dry erase or something like that. And I was like, yes.
Yep.
Yes, do that.
Yeah, I have bright green masking tape. When I have both barrels running, I will mask it on the fronts and write down what's in the barrel and at what step. When I get another Lortone, which hopefully is happening soon, so I can have 4 barrels running at once, that's going to be crucial because it's very easy to forget what the heck you're working on.
So are you finding that you can't have just one? Just
Yeah,
one thing.
no. Yeah, no. I've been wanting a second for a very long time.
I was
So,
worried about that. I
yeah.
think I need another one already too.
It's just so nice to have multiple things going where you don't have to wait the whole cycle. So my plan is to get 2 more or another lower tone double barrel and then a vibratory. So I can have like 5 batches going at all times because yeah, I've been using the double barrel for so long and it's just not quite enough for what I need.
Nice.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I've done that, and this is why I got into the habit of just ignoring it. I used to turn my tumbler off every time I would start filming, and I forgot to turn it back on so much that I'm like, I'm sorry, guys, you're just gonna have to just deal with tumbler noise whenever I'm filming now because I have lost like entire weeks because I forgot like the fact that I unplugged it. This needs to get plugged back in.
Yeah, I think that it's kind of funny because when I first introduced the tumbler to the household, it was so obnoxiously loud. And so I
Yeah,
actually had to change where it was located because I mean it was really obnoxious. And so I noticed that the different amount of water and rocks and ceramic media made a huge difference as well for the
yep,
noise. And so there's ways to dampen the noise without like messing up the unit itself. Like the Raytech 5 that I have, you're not supposed to cover in any way, shape, or form because it might cause it to overheat. So note to everybody out there, don't try to make it quieter.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
like only from the inside, not from the outside.
yeah.
But what I noticed though was that after, I don't know, 5 days or so, it went away.
Yeah, you just don't even know its existence anymore. It's so off your radar that if you turn it off, you will forget that it's not running because the noise is not on your radar at all. Like it's I would call it white noise, but that would imply it's still something that I hear and am conscious about. The
Right?
vibratories are a little louder than rotaries. Rotaries tend to be a little bit quieter, but even still, like I don't even know. Like I don't notice it at all. Rotaries are pretty quiet.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it does have something to do with what you've got in it. The first
Yeah,
round for the Sunstones, they were so rough, and I didn't
yeah.
have ceramic media in with that batch because they said, it would be fine to put them without, and then I introduced the ceramics at the second stage,
Yeah.
and, I couldn't believe how much calmer the
Oh,
whole
so
situation
much.
was.
And
Yeah.
I it could just be that I'm desensitized, or it could be that I am not running what I like what most people are usually tumbling anymore. And I just forgot how loud it can be because I very rarely, if ever, just tumble like normal rocks. It's always like thin slabs or cabochon. So there's not really much mass per rock, which means it's just not making much noise when they collide against each other. And then yeah, there you add that ceramic and it just goes silent.
Yeah, actually, Prairie Girl, this is exactly what it sounds like to me,
Yeah.
especially when the door is shut to the room that it's in, 'cause,
Yep.
it's kind of been sequestered into our very, very most downstairs bathroom, and we don't use it all that much, but you walk by it, and
Yeah.
and it totally sounds like a creek in there.
It's
I
really
love
pleasant back like white noise. I actually really don't mind it at all. In fact, me and Mo were talking about this because I sent her a video once. I was like swapping barrels, and she was like, "I don't like how eerily silent it is in your shop right now." It's like it just so happened that my vibratory lap and my tumbler batch both ended on the same day. Like the full cycles finished on the same day, and I was sending a video, and she's like, "This is creepy how quiet your shop is." Like I know I need something to start grinding like soon because this is driving me crazy. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, it's really it's interesting, like, Manitoba is saying it's like an ASMR,
It
and
is, yeah.
it turned out being that as soon as I got used to it, and I think I don't know if stage 1 is always going to sound like so horrific, because
Yeah,
even
stage 1, there's a lot more shaping going on. Like there's some pretty heavy collision going on as well. Because it's once it's rounded over, even in like some minor form, they'll slide past each other. On step 1, they are colliding. So step 1's always going to be loudest.
yeah. I mean, I definitely caught some looks from Steve, like, wasn't sure. I wasn't sure that the tumbler was going to survive like all of it. And so I was so relieved when it got calmed down, and he even got excited, like couldn't wait to see when the next stage came out, and
Yeah.
that's always a good sign. Yeah, it happened in such a way that at least there's a future in this household for tumbling. And so
Yep.
what would you say would be the worst thing that ever happened to you with the tumbler, just off the top of your mind, other than cement?
So you probably shouldn't do this, but I travel so much that I don't want to lose long periods of time. So I'll just let it keep running. And one thing happened that put my tumbler out of commission for a while, and it sucked. That was one of those periods where it was off for so long.
Oh.
One of the barrels got cockeyed somehow, and it was the rim of the metal barrel scraping against the rim of the tumbler itself.
Mm.
And I think it was on one of our like 2-week trips. So it was doing that for a long time, and it literally shredded the entire rim off.
Oh, wow.
So the metal cap was still on, but all of the rim was off, and it got shredded to the point where it was like serrated. And then it somehow got so wobbly that it popped back in and cut into the roller and gouged out like a 6-inch freaking length of the roller. So I had to and then it got stuck and burnt my motor. So I had to replace the motor and the roller and buy a new barrel. So
wow, that's pretty.
If you leave your tumbler running, maybe have someone to check on it every time.
Yeah, that's some wholesale destruction. That's the kind of thing where you know how like you might take your dogs to a dog sitter. You might want to like take your tumbler to a tumbler sitter. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Just have someone come by and check on it every now and then. Yeah, it's a good idea to get a house sitter for your tumbler.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my gosh. And what do you think the very best thing that you ever pulled out of your tumbler was? Since we heard the worst, what would you say the best experience was?
It varies because I just love every single batch that I'm running. So I would say the day I pulled out my finished obsidian, and it was like amazing. I was so happy. I was beside myself because that represented, because I also kind of just refused out of stubbornness, like to ask for help from someone that I know who can tumble obsidian. I was like, no, I want to figure this out on my own. So I kind of just tested everything. So that finished batch of really just unbelievably glossy obsidian coming out was like reflected like 6 or 7 different methods that I tried over the course of like almost half a year trying to get to that result. So that was a beautiful thing, pulling out that first piece of obsidian and just having that rainbow in your face purple, like just blasting at you. Because it was a mixture of Aurora, Triflow, and Rainbow Obsidian. And it was such a good feeling. Other than that, I would say when I ran my test on my Turritella shells, I was thrilled with that batch when it came out, because I learned the black Turritella shells. I'm sure I have examples here. Yeah, there. The black Turritella shells, they are not black. They are clear. In fact, when you get this under a microscope, you will find Turritella is not black at all. The whole rock is not black. What it actually is clear chalcedony with so many fossilized ostracods all over everything, so densely, tightly packed together that it looks black. And this is something you would never discover without individual, not just cutting and polishing, but tumbling one of those shells. This is like literally something you'd never be able to see before. And you take one of those shells and look at it up close, and you can just clearly see all of those ostracods sitting inside of it. It's like, yeah, it's a little black shell. Then you get a strong light on it and look at close, and it's like, no, this little agatized shell this big is filled with literally thousands of fossils, and that's the coolest thing ever.
And that just makes me weak in the knees.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Donahue Labs Patrick would love to know what the biggest surprise you've pulled out of the tumbler is, if it wasn't the obsidian.
Probably. So I used to, before I really knew what I was doing with Iris, I used to just throw all of my Montana agate slabs into the tumbler because that would tell me fast if they were Iris or not. So some of those times where I was running tests and pulled one out, and it's just like an insane, in your face, unbelievable Iris agate that you're not expecting at all. That would be up there. Trying to think of some of the other stuff. I actually tumbled Teepee Canyon agate, and I was blown away because it's such a fractured rock. Like, it's very fractious. It's chert, and it's in some extreme weather, both hot and cold. So whoa, what happened?
Yeah, there you go.
Both hot and cold, so you wouldn't expect it to actually tumble well, but it tumbles really, really, really well. Actually, recently, I think it's in this video, I talk about it. I was tumbling some, in that video, some Mexican lace agate cabochons, and I made the discovery that if you just take them out after step one and then polish them normally, you can force undercutting. It's the coolest thing ever. It's so awesome looking. Cool. Yeah. So there's just a lot of really little things like that I just, yeah. I don't know. It's hard for me to give an answer because I'm just so constantly like testing new stuff.
Thank you, Patrick.
What tips do I have for tumbling obsidian? I would just go watch my video on tumbling obsidian because I do not. One of the reasons I was trying so hard was so that I could actually recommend a process to people. So if you want to watch that video, I, at the very end of the video, give my exact steps that I use, but I also show the whole process of trying different things and failing. But yeah, at the end of the video, I have all of my steps laid out.
Have you ever tried to tumble Yellowstone porcelainite?
Yes, it tumbles really, really well, so long as it's not in a barrel with super hard stuff. You throw it in with Montana agate and Jasper, it's probably not going to come out great. But if you like throw it in there with some like sodalite or something a little bit softer, it should be fine.
Awesome. Are you ready
for like 5 6s? You know.
Are you ready for the lightning round?
Yes, let's do this.
Okay. Waffles or pancakes?
Oh, waffles.
Why?
I freaking love waffles. But they have to be like a little bit. I prefer, they're the same thing, but I prefer the crispiness of a waffle. If you give me a soggy, soft waffle, I'm not going to like it. I want it slightly crisp.
Okay. That being said, would you rather have a power bar or full tilt breakfast?
I'm never hungry in the morning, so neither.
Yep, same here.
I can't eat until 1 p.m. at the earliest kind of human.
Oh my
My breakfast is coffee. Yeah, no, I have one meal a day.
Oh, is your mom my mom? That's so strange. That's so weird. That's exactly my schedule. And people are like, you gotta eat something. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I know. It's like, no, yeah, I'll have coffee until dinner time, and then I'll eat a big dinner, and then I'm good until the next dinner time.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So would you rather mine it yourself or go to the rock shed? Oh,
yes.
That was a low down, dirty question.
A lot of stuff I would like, almost everything I would prefer to go dig it myself. The exception being things like their absolutely unreal labradorite, where I know I can't go to Morocco or Madagascar. I mean, there's just certain things I know I will never get to go hunt for myself. But for the most part, yes, I would much rather do all of the hunting myself. If it's an option, I will do it, but I will also happily hand the rock shed money for as long as I'm alive.
Right. And we'll all help you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hiking boots or bare feet?
Ooh, literally anything but bare feet. I have a pair of flip-flops I wear around my house just because I refuse to be barefoot. I hate being barefoot.
All right. Backpack or bucket?
Oh, backpack. I hate bucket hunting. I so much hate. Oh my god, like it's the worst. I forget how much I hate it until we go like. The first time in several years I did bucket hunting was at Spencer because they give you a bucket that you're allowed to fill during that time. And I was like, yeah, okay, this works. And then by the end of the day, I'm like, God, I hate buckets so much. This is why I don't hunt this way. Like you can load a bag on my back and I'll go all day long just fine. But you hand me half of that weight in a bucket and tell me to carry it around all day, and it's miserable. I hate bucket hunting. Sorry, this is a lightning round, and I'm extrapolating too much.
Oh no, that's okay. So what's the drink of champions while you're out in the field?
Water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a lot of water, so there I would say it depends on how far I'm going. I either drink a lot of water. I always have a giant thing of coffee every time I leave the house. But if I'm going far, I also have a big, like 40-ounce Yeti that I make smoothies and put in. And oh my gosh, is that amazing throughout the day. So I take frozen strawberries, frozen sweet cherries, and frozen peaches. And then you blend all that together in apple juice. And oh my God, it's the best. And it will give you so much like clean, good energy for the day. And you just feel great. And because it's frozen fruit, you don't need ice. So it just like stays so nice and cold all day. It's the best. I love it. I literally, not joking, make one of those every night. And my mood is adversely affected if I can't have one.
I'm stealing that hack.
It's so good.
I'm stealing it. What is your favorite tool in the studio?
Ooh, that is so hard. They're all like my kids for different. They're all, yeah. I just like seriously, like I use them all for such different things. I would say. So those of you that know me know this, but I, believe it or not, more of kind of an animal fossil person than I am a pure rock person. So I would probably actually say my scribe is my favorite tool.
Ooh, all right.
Now, there's so much, I work on rocks with it too. There's just so much you can do with it, but it's one of those things where it's like, if you don't have a slab saw, you can still get rocks cut somehow. If you don't have a flat lap, you can still figure out different ways of getting to that final stage. If you don't have a scribe, you're not prepping, period, full stop. It's one of those few rare tools where, like a faceting machine, you can do some hand faceting, but you're not going to get anywhere near to what you can with a faceting machine. So the scribe is probably that same comparison for fossils.
I love that. I need a scribe.
They're the best.
What are you binging on TV right now?
What am I binging right now? We just got done rewatching Impractical Jokers because it's so stupid and I love it. We were just we just finished a rewatch on Dragon Ball. Oh,
God.
Which we do like 3 times a year.
That's great. I love random.
It's so good.
Welcome in, Lisa. And what's your excuse to buy another parcel?
Me?
Yeah.
Because I run through them so freaking fast.
Okay.
Okay, so I was Mo was shaming me the other day.
That's what you tell her?
Yeah, pretty much. I just need it. She knows. Mo was shaming me a while back because I already am almost through all of my Spencer Opals. Dude, you went twice and got 3 buckets. Like, I know, I'm almost through all of them already. I'm going to have to order more before we get to go back.
Right. So your excuse is just simply, I'm out.
Yeah, I worked through all of them. I need more. I have to feel this addiction somehow. Sir, what are you doing here?
There's something interesting behind you. That's what.
Oh, he brought his toy up here and then he dropped it.
Oh, play with me. So last one is just, where is everybody finding you on the interwebs? Where do we find you? So
YouTube mostly. I'm actually debating getting back on to being more consistent on Instagram because I was for a while and then I just decided I don't want to do this anymore. But I think it would be fun to actually start doing Instagram more often again. But YouTube is the main one. Theo Kellison. on YouTube is my main. Then my second is Sticks and Stones. I'm working on a third, but it's not going to be a while. That's an after the website is done kind of dealio. And then on Patreon, which is a newer thing that I am doing, where if you want more tailored stuff for like lapidary or weird stuff that would not perform well on my channel, like I'll post pretty much everything on Patreon, whereas YouTube gets mad if I do certain things. So yeah.
Yes.
So, Sticks and Stones 406 on Instagram. I'm probably not going to be very active over there for a while, but I'm going to try about it. Theo Kellison, Sticks and Stones on YouTube, and then just Theo Kellison on Patreon.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Theo is scheduled probably about 10 years out with his media. So we're all waiting for certain things to happen, and we'll be patient. But
Yeah, I know. It's a constant thing always. I mean, talking like with you and Ma all the time, my schedule is kind of laughably busy all the time, and I don't know how it keeps happening. It's like every year I'm like, yeah, things are going to start slowing down here pretty soon, and then they get even more crazy. So I don't know. Sir, just calm down.
And so Ma just popped up the Patreon on the chat there. And
thank you, Ma.
Yeah, you can become a Patreon without having to fork off dough, but you do get to know like the things that are happening ahead of time, and that's really important for things that are coming up. I'm just a spoiler alert there. And then you get to see things that like he said are not so good to post up on the YouTube, where some of us do like the membership side instead, and that's his equivalent. And so go on over there and do that. Mom's going to bed. Bye, Mom, I love you.
Bye, Mom.
And we'll wrap it up because we're on like 3 hours and 12 minutes. I know you've had a super long day, and you have some cat wrangling to do.
I don't know why he's so freaking wound up right now.
Because you were gone.
Yeah, pretty much.
You came home, and it's time.
It's just constant.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your wisdom about the tumbles. I'm sure that we'll have more episodes like this on account that, we've wrapped Ma into it, and I'm into it. And I talked to some of the others like Ryan and Jahik, who needs to, I guess, get a new motor or something. And so like we're going to like join us.
Yep. Like everyone come to the dark side. It's the most fun ever. It's the best. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah. And thank you, Ma, for dropping the links into the chat. And thank you, everybody who's in the chat
and thank you, Ma, for telling me that you were still going, because I almost didn't hop in. I was like, it's so late. I doubt she wants me to hop on anymore.
Oh no, like I'm really glad that you joined us, and you did answer a bunch of the questions that were cycling through the chat. So very appreciated.
One thing for everyone that was there during the live stream last week, every box is packed. They're all ready to go out. I just need to print labels, so they will probably be doing that tomorrow. But every single box is packed already. So thank you guys all so much. Why are you being this way tonight?
You guys all
pinging.
Mox rocks, welcome in, and thank you so much for hanging out. And I don't, but you can totally DM me over on our Discord. I might be lurking a whole lot of the time these days, but I check it all the time. I'm supposed to. It's sort of supposed to be run by me or something, but everybody else is running it right now. So I thank you all for doing that. But come over on the Discord and have a good time with us over there. And that's a good place to DM me if you can't reach me. I never check Facebook anymore, and I'm barely on YouTube anymore either, just because I've been too busy.
Yeah, I don't even have Facebook installed anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, me neither. That's actually why I miss everything over there. Is I got a new phone, and I just was like, nope.
Yep, nope. I dropped it. I will say to anyone on Facebook, I dropped it like 3 years ago, and my life has gotten nothing but better without it.
Yeah.
You can say
I used
that for a lot of social medias, but God, there's just something about Facebook, man.
Yeah, I liked it
Ugh.
for the groups, but like our group over on the Discord kind of like satisfies now. Like we have so many cool channels over there with like all the
Yeah.
different, things. That's groups.
Yeah,
So
it's just, yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
We got
Uh,
groups. Oh, and I was supposed to do this. I was supposed to do it during the news, and so you guys, we've got the voting going on over on the Discord, and Ryan has made the big announcement that Thunder Eggs will be the theme of the Maker Showcase in March. And so
nice.
get your thunder, your March thunder for
This
your
is so crazy.
$8.
Where did February go? It feels like we were just talking about what the February theme was going to be. That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I need a rebate on all of February if that
I
could
don't know what
happen.
happened to it. It's crazy.
I don't either.
Oh
Goodness
my
gracious.
gosh.
Well, and Scott is thanking us for the helpful hints. Thank you, Scott, for hanging out. And I know that like this is what I was hungry for, floating out there in the neither world with my tumbler going like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what it's supposed to look like at this stage. I don't.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
That's a
that
good. That's
so
one thing I
much-
actually talk about in this video that's coming out. Textures, because texture is so much more important to be looking for than like how long it's been in there. There's a specific gloss I look for at each step, and I will not move them forward until they hit that point. So a lot of these questions that have been asked will be answered in that video that's coming out on Patreon. And again, that should be done Sunday. So that'll be coming out soon.
Awesome. Yeah. We
Sorry, I
really
may cut
need
you
that.
off.
No, we need that in our lives. You can cut
Yeah.
me off all day with that kind of
And that's a public tier video. So whether you're a paid member or not, you get to watch that video.
Yay.
All
right, everybody.
Literally just because I want the information out there and to be seen. Oh, one more thing. Last thing. Tomorrow's video. Oh my gosh, you guys. I cut 3 of the freaking best iris I've cut in years in the same video on accident. I'm so excited. You're not going to believe this. It's nuts.
It's on accident the best video ever. So
It's seriously crazy.
Tune in. All right. We'll see you over there to watch that video, and then seeing you all around the live streams all weekend long. I wish you guys the very, very best. Cheers and Steinkerns to you, buddy.
Cheers. We'll do this again soon when I'm not 2 hours fashionably late.
Absolutely. It's always good. Thanks again, everybody, for being here. You guys all rock. Have a great weekend. Here comes this.
Ah! Ah!
It's time to go surfing, man.
I was just scared. It's like my whole world just turned into an ocean somehow.
I mean, it's a problem.
It's so distracting during the lives. Can you all still hear me? I don't have
I literally can't open the chat, so I don't know. I can't see it.
Oh, we can hear you.
Okay. I need to get these slabs off of this table because it has been so distracting during lives.
We only know you to be distracted. It's good. It's
Oh
good
my
to
gosh.
know. Are you here?
All right, so to everyone that was there at the live, it was so awesome. Thank you guys so much, and I want to say you guys directly helped to get 146 pounds of slabbable labradorite, and we've already got some insane ones. Also, Malawi agates and blue lace agate, and Brazilian agates, and quartz crystals, and sodalite, and tiger eye. It's crazy. I'm so excited. I was sending pictures to them earlier, and it's just crazy.
I promise
be
I won't
excited.
take all of the labradorite.
Oh my gosh, there's so
take
much.
all.
I don't know how you could.
I could try.
You probably could. Oh my gosh. So happy. So happy.
When do we get to see more of that?
Actually, that video, I finished filming it today, so I'll probably post it either next week or the week after.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I probably... Sorry, what?
Go ahead. Nope, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I could probably post some to somewhere on... actually, I could probably do that on Patreon, too.
That would be really cool. I
Yeah.
was just gonna say your voice and the ocean Sounds so much like the
Man, we
tumbler.
can't hear me. Let's start over again.
It sounds like we're in your studio.
It's kind of true though. I kind of did go into my video voice too, didn't I?
Yeah.
Where I don't have like a specific video voice, but I have like a cadence where I'm like, all right, I've got thoughts. I need to get them out while I'm filming.
Oh, that must have been it. Yeah.
Yeah, they probably was.
Transported us to another place. Like I had to check
I
if
do it.
there was
I
one.
do it subconsciously every now and then, and Alexis is like, "Whoa, you just went video mode." And I was like, "Did I? I don't even notice when I do it
Are
anymore."
you here? Am I here?
So many faces of Theo. There, that's better. A nice little sunset.
I'm gonna just sit here till I get kicked.
Like the whole thing will be over and it'll just be you quietly.
Yeah, it's a game of chicken at this point. I refuse to lose.
This is great.
If anyone's still here, I mentioned that undercutting. Oh my gosh, what just? Cat, dude, you need to calm down. So I mentioned the undercutting on the Mexican lace. I think I posted that somewhere on the Discord, and I don't remember where now. Maybe it was general. Maybe that was probably like over a month ago now too. So I'm sorry. You might have to go fishing for it. It is there though.
We'll all go looking for it when this is over.
There's nothing like saying, "Hey, this thing I mentioned. Well, here it is." But you have to. It's like a scavenger hunt. I'm not gonna repost it. So good luck finding it.
Let's start over again.
And it's Theo.
Hey. Do we just start over?
Yeah, welcome back.
We
Well,
could do this.
We
And
could-
just like make people think they're in some weird time loop. We have to like really be on top of what we're saying so we can just verbatim start over from when I came on.
oh my
People are
God.
like, what happened?
No. Well, Romania over there in Romania would be really actually happy about that because he just woke up. And so
Yeah. that's
Addie,
fair.
this show is for you and all of you that are joining us from the other side of the planet where
Yeah.
the sun just came up.
And it's not 10:30 at night.
Yeah, we're talking about rocks and some tumbles this evening. How you doing?
Why is it that we have this habit, I feel like, of just derailing the live stream in some way every time I come on here? Like, your outro's done and we're just still going.
Because that's the way that this works.
Uh,
But I'm actually gonna go, and so
Yeah,
can
me
just hang
too.
out for as long as you want.
12-hour live stream. I'll just talk to myself.
All right, good night, everybody. Cheers.
Bye, everyone.